Stream is live. It came
Hey
up.
everyone. We have Diane doing some open and gifts. Sorry we had a little technical difficulty since this is the first time I've been live on StreamYard. So thank you
Yes.
for bearing with me. Hope y'all have had a great Sunday. And I have been waiting patiently for Diane to open her TEMU gifts for me. She already knew. I saw her video. Just kidding, Diane. Okay, let me.
I'm showing myself.
I see you. There we go.
I don't like me big.
I love your hair.
I love her hair.
It's really gotten long. I just can't get over it. But I just keep pulling it out. But it's nighttime, so.
Yeah, but I just thought it was like just a little bitty ponytail.
Me too.
Oh no! That little piece, that's half my hair.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like without it.
Oh,
You
really?
know, I thought you'd have just like
I don't know if you
little.
could see real good.
Yeah.
Look how long.
Wow.
I love it.
I like it.
It grew. It really grew.
And the color's so pretty.
Yeah.
So I have 2 bags, Miss Kim. Which one should I open first?
It doesn't matter. You pick. White one.
The white one?
White. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Big one.
And I even brought scissors with me.
Hey, smart girl.
Yes. Well, because my
I
hands
hate
don't work real
watching
good.
people open gifts like on TV halls and stuff, and they're ripping it open. I'm like, please just get some sense.
This is really suction.
Oh my gosh,
I'm not responsible for
packed.
anything in there.
I wonder what it is. Hold on. It's really suction.
I mean,
it's pink and black.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Oh.
Oh.
If Nana can't help, no one can. Oh, Kim, that's so cute and sweet.
Cute.
It's a Nana blanket.
Oh, how pretty.
Look how soft it looks,
so
too.
Soft.
That's
I
perfect.
figured the girls would love to lay in it at your house.
And it's big. Look how
it is big.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Is it very thick?
It's
not real thick, but I don't like thick blankets.
Me either. I don't like super thick either.
Oh, wow, it's huge.
It is big.
Oh,
Can you see how big it is?
Yeah. It's like a queen
The love
size.
between Nana and grandchildren is something.
Oh,
Can
I
you
love
see it all? It's so pretty.
Mom
Thank
says
you,
no.
Kim.
Ask Nana.
That is
I'm
huge.
I'm
You
pretty
can
good at
tell how
saying no.
soft it is. I can tell it's soft, man.
Yeah, it looks
It
soft.
is. It's
Now,
real
I always
soft.
read the reviews.
Oh,
And
me
it's
too.
Good
I
reviews.
love it. Thank you.
Hey, Lainey. Oh,
Thank
everybody's
you. That's
loving.
getting washed, so I can use it right away.
Yeah, everybody's loving that
Huh?
blanket, Diane. Everybody's loving it.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful, and the colors.
Is
the
it
pink
big
and
enough
black.
to go on, like, I don't know what size your bed is, but like, to lay.
I have a full size bed.
It's huge. I think it would go over the whole bed.
It looks like
I don't know if I could show you how big.
Man, it's huge. She can't even extend her arms.
I was thinking it was going to be, smaller, but
it's
got
over
all
my
kinds
feet.
of cute little sayings on it.
It's over my feet.
Yeah, so it's taller.
Hey, Kim, do you have Penny blocked?
No.
Well, someone is May saying unblock Penny.
What? We gave Penny.
Lord, if I did, it was not intentional, and I think.
Oh no, I don't think they think it was intentional. I just.
How do I unblock?
I'm gonna mute because I don't want to sound like a guzzling, gulping thing.
I don't know how to unblock anybody. Like,
okay,
unless I went to her channel.
May, did she say she was blocked?
Does she have a link? Because we wanted her to come on. If you give her a link to come on, that should solve it.
Yeah. If you give her, tell her to click on the link.
Yeah.
Because that's what we wanted, was for her to come in. I'll send you one right now, Benny.
Yes, she is.
Maybe
She is.
another one there for Feta.
Jan just said she is blocked.
Who did?
Jan.
Oh wow.
Okay,
But
so
I mean, I don't think she thinks it's on purpose. I
Yeah,
just
I
think they
don't.
wanted us to know.
okay,
There's
so
no reason why I would block Jan.
okay,
I
so
see your
our,
comments on.
it's Finney.
No.
Dan.
Yeah, May said that she commented and it didn't show. So
Oh, I thought
Okay.
you just said Jan was too. Okay.
no, Jan's just
I got you.
saying
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
it's fine.
Hey, Finney, check your. Can you come on with us? Because that's what we were hoping you'd do.
What name is she trying to get in under?
Formerly, or Finding Finney.
Fine.
Thank you, May and Jan,
I
for
don't
letting us
know how to
know.
block.
Just check your blocked real
That's what I'm
quick.
doing. I'm doing it on my phone.
Okay, and Jan's good. Jan's not blocked.
I'm subscribed to her.
I'm
She's
so
not
happy
blocked.
to see Diane get something pretty and sweet.
She is not blocked.
She's not blocked. Okay.
No.
Then I don't know what's happening, but
And I gave her a link to join us too. So, okay. And I
but
gave
here lately, YouTube has been. Whew,
Lenny, we see you. So it's Lenny, not Finney.
hey,
Lenny, not Finney. Lenny's Moose. Do you have Lenny's Moose blocked?
So it's not Finney?
No, you're not blocked because we see you. So you're not blocked. Hello.
no, May said Finney,
Oh, okay. Lord.
and so did Jan.
I just went to her channel and I didn't.
Lenny, you're definitely not blocked. And then she just checked Jan
Because I don't see anything on
You
here.
know what? I had her hid. I did have her hid.
Ah, there she is.
Okay, good. Okay. And I sent you a link to get on, Finney.
Yeah.
We sent you a link.
The more the merrier.
I'm just sitting here.
Come on. All right, so
Oh, you look so relaxed, Diane.
I know.
I don't know how Dee doesn't want to open presents like the rest of us do. She can let that stuff
I
sit
do,
there in her house.
but I can
for-
wait. I could just.
She's good like
Yeah.
me. I love a surprise, so I'm good about
She's
waiting.
waited
I
this
really
long.
can be actually quite good.
Yeah, I know you're good about waiting, Joan.
I know, but I have I know. I walked right past it. Okay.
That's what's so sad.
I know. God, I cannot believe y'all. Oh,
Are we
man.
waiting for Finney, or do you want me to go in for another one?
Go on, keep going.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, there's
Fanny.
I'm not gonna
Finney!
make Diane big again. There's Fanny. I'm sorry. I want to confess. I did have
bet
you.
it was Kim. I
hidden.
know. I bet it was from way before
It
when I
is. We have
had the, so
Oh,
it's
this
no
is
big
what I
deal.
want.
I figured it out. I was like,
Yeah.
I bet it was from way before when we were
Fueled by iced coffee.
Odd.
right, Fanny. Yeah, because she hasn't had a live on here for 4 months.
Yeah.
I'll check.
I've never.
That's
I've
so
never
cute.
This is so
I like the little
nice.
skeleton.
What's his
Oh, is
name?
that a skeleton hand?
Uh-huh.
And
I
then,
love it.
Dang. Well, you got the rest of the month to wear it.
Yes, I love it. I think you could wear it.
Is it that
Dee'll
real
be wearing
shiny
that
material,
after.
though, Diane?
I'd wear
What?
that all year.
Is it that real shiny stuff, though?
No, it's not.
Okay, because it looks
No,
a little
it's not.
shiny. But,
Oh, maybe because of the light. But no, this is a little shiny, but not the shirt.
I
No,
love
it's
it.
not that shiny stuff. Like I got Tasha
Okay.
one that was.
well, I read
Pink.
the reviews.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
know about that shiny stuff that Temu
Love
has.
it. Love
know,
it.
It's like a certain
That
material.
is you.
That'll be getting
Yes.
on. You be seeing that in the vlog.
I think that was in your cart.
Yes, that was.
Okay. So I got you something out of your
It
cart.
was. Oh, another t-shirt, another t-shirt, another t-shirt. Oh,
Is he?
Is it too big, though?
Oh, I
you
love.
see
I
it?
rock them both.
I
I
rock them
think,
so.
I think she likes big because she wears them with like her.
Yeah,
shorts.
she
Yeah.
doesn't, I know she don't
Yeah.
like them around her throat.
Yeah.
Because of my hoodies, I cut them all. I won't cut my son's hoodie that he got me special. I'll yank it.
I don't like it.
I love it. I do. I like my clothes big. I don't know why. I bought an outfit that's fitted, and I don't know if I'll wear it. It shows all my
Sorry,
blumps
everything
and
I got
blumps.
you says Nana.
That's good. I'm a Nana. All right,
I
Kimmy.
know. There you go.
Okay.
I want to get
Okay.
one of these.
Pure promotion outside.
That blanket is awesome, by the way.
Don't you love it?
It's wonderful. It's huge.
It's
It's
so big.
huge. I'm gonna wash it and put it on my bed.
Oh, what is this? What is it? What?
Oh,
Is it a
because you know I want to do some walks and stuff. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? That's
Well, not
awesome,
only
Kimmy.
that, when
Oh,
you're doing your shop, your you know, your
Shop with
Dollar
me's and
Tree.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, I walk around with my hand like this.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, after a while, it goes pretty numb.
I'm gonna
Kimmy,
get you
thank
one
you.
if
I
you
love
like.
everything.
Okay.
That'll make your
I love
camera at a good
everything.
height.
Awesome job, Kimmy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Would you? Someone said something about my camera.
That'll make the camera at a really good height. Like
I
when
bet
you're
you.
doing those shopping things and everything, it'll be
Yeah.
like right like as you're looking at them, you know.
Looking at the item,
Or even
right?
cooking videos, like when you're cooking or making baking.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to
So,
do.
yeah, open it up. I want to see it because
I am. I'm like a little
somebody
kid.
put that link in Discord. Remember a long time ago, and I grabbed it.
That's a great
You
idea.
grabbed it.
I grabbed it. I
just
said, "Don't
Oh,
show her
look,
that."
look,
one."
look.
Myself,
It's
sorry.
like moldable.
Right on.
Right. Look at.
Oh, it had
See,
very
you
So
can
it's
adjust
like.
it. You can put it exactly where you want it.
Right. Right. And face the
Wow.
phone down. Hold on.
Oh, that is so cool.
Look at me. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
That is
Yeah.
so neat.
Good thing my neck's not huge.
I want you to let me know how it works.
Well, I'll show you how it works. I'll do something with it and tag you in it. See, like this flips and you know what I mean? Like right now
Mhm.
it's hard. But this is magnetic.
Wow.
So it connects to it magnetically. And there's the magnetic pieces. And then
Cool.
there's like a strap to carry it with.
Oh
Fanny,
wow.
are you the one that
Cool,
sent that
kid.
link in the Discord?
Huh?
Huh?
Somebody sent the link to this in Discord and said, "This is what Diane needs."
Oh, I wonder who.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Look
I
at it.
thought
It's
was Fanny.
it's soft on the chest like.
No, I'm
Mhm.
lost on that.
You know
'cause
what? I wonder if Queen did.
It could have been. I bet it
What?
was. Where
I
is
bet you.
Queen?
She's tried every electronic on TEMU so far.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, I see.
Ooh, cool. I
Oh.
like how it's got that softness against your chest.
Yeah, it's got the softness against it, and then I think this is how. Yep, that's how you release it. The button right on top.
Oh
So it's
wow.
clips in, and then I'll put a magnetic piece here and there, and then it will hold it, and we'll go shopping with me.
That'll
How
be
you
cool.
like me
Well,
now?
get your button gear, and we want
Oh,
to see.
you could mow the grass with it
Marshalls.
too.
Oh Lord, you know what? Grass mowing's over with. The pool and the bounce house thing is down. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
But are you still
Okay, but
mowing?
why is that thing around your
No,
neck
now
so
I let
big?
the lawnmower guy do it because he just gets it in
Oh,
everything
yeah.
purposely.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was getting rid of these two mini they're 4-wheelers like Minnie Mouse, and it's 40 pounds and under. Well, the girls are too big for them, so I donated them actually across the street. I was going to put them out front. Do you know he came straight across, ran towards them, and then went around it? You should have seen the grass all over. Had to take a snow shovel to get the grass all off the sidewalk.
What a jerk.
Yeah, basically. But y'all have seen my ugly mug enough. I'm going off camera. Kimmy, I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
I have a load to wash tonight, and I'm going to wash these and see which one I rock tomorrow. What do you think it would be?
Are you the last one to open gifts?
No, Queen still has to open hers.
What about
Oh.
what about Joni?
Joni opened hers.
Yeah.
She did?
Uh-huh.
I
She
don't
had the
remember.
leopard. She had the leopard hat and the
Dee
glasses.
didn't remember either. that she did it.
Yeah, Mona had me. I opened Mona's. Yeah. So
I played the heart card.
what? Oh yeah, because she's like, you have to open it tonight.
My finger hurts.
I cannot wait any longer. Yeah, I love Secret Santas for real. Hey, Jim might want to join that. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I didn't bring that up. That was very naughty. I just called
Are you
myself
gonna
Yeah.
House of Joan. Do what?
Are you gonna open yours?
Mm,
What? No, not tonight. I really am not tonight. We're going to do another live in like a few days. I really am not doing it tonight because
Okay.
I'm gonna make a big production.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Right.
goodness.
I might have red
Yeah,
carpet.
you should after you let it lay out there all
I'm
night.
gonna have. I know. I feel like I need
Walk
to
by
do
twice.
something. I cannot believe, y'all. The
So I
G.
thought something was going on outside. It's actually thunder and lightning. I
Yeah,
kept seeing like a light flash, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
that's what. Yeah, I was wondering if you were seeing because Tasha said there's a pretty storm going on. So yeah,
I love storms.
me too.
Let's
Cannot
get
get
ready
it.
to storm here.
I am surrounded by
windy.
TEMU stuff.
Yeah. So you have plenty of Temu stuff to do. You sure you don't want to do like a little bit?
No, because I don't even know where to begin.
Well,
That's gonna have to be.
She got Timu wasted.
I mean,
I
you
have.
need to do like a 10 or 12-hour video on Temu.
Oh, do some-
I
do
mean,
some of
like,
it.
and I've got more
Take
coming
ASMR.
tomorrow. Every day last week I got a shipment, and I've got more coming
Well, what
tomorrow.
are you buying for? Like, what are you, Christmas? Or-
Well, no, I need one thing I bought was I need long sleeve shirts from where I've lost weight. So I like donated all my other long sleeve shirts and I bought all new. And then I got some stuff for Elizabeth for her apartment for Christmas. Some
Do
stuff
they
for
watch
Jerry.
your videos, Mona? Does your family, do they watch your videos?
Elizabeth and her friends do, but I probably won't put her stuff on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well,
Yeah,
but
no, I probably won't put. Now Jerry don't watch them.
no, I meant your daughter and your other family members. You know, like if you were showing the Temu stuff that you got them, it kind of it eliminates the surprise.
No, well, Elizabeth does. Her and her friends do, but I'm not. I'm not posting any of her stuff.
Cool.
But she's into Winnie the Pooh, so I got a bunch of stuff for her kitchen and stuff. And Jerry, my youngest, she don't watch, but I'm probably not gonna show hers either.
Yeah.
And then I got some stuff for like my business. But I mean, see, I keep getting them $100 credits, so I'm not really spending anything.
That's awesome.
So, and then I got me some Grinch stuff.
At least you say it and mean it.
How
Jerry
much
said
credit you got?
I mean it.
$100. I got
Holy
100.
smokes!
I get 100 at a time. I showed Joni the other day. I had what?
George clearly wasn't there or wasn't listening, so please do show me again.
Yeah,
Finny,
we
I
want-
promise not to let that happen when we do our class. Okay, I will be totally present next time you show me how, please. Okay, because really, where was I? Was my husband? Was I testing his drinks? Okay, because he's only done those 2 nights this week.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
you're showing me. I don't remember you showing me. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, yeah, I need to be shown again. I throw myself on your mercy.
It's okay. I don't remember Joni opening her Temu exchange.
Okay.
It's fine.
Speaking of dementia, about someone that did a live apparently today, I just have to bring it up, y'all. What did I hear that he was a fleet commander in a past life? Was that what we heard recently, or was that not in this one?
Well,
I
it
just,
was him doing his latch rug
hey, yeah.
stuff
I thought he was a
and Lego.
submarine person, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I thought that's what he said. I don't know.
I did think it was interesting that I don't remember him saying this, but I have him on mute much of the time, which is part of how I can tolerate it. I just am in there for the chat, and I do find it interesting that
I can't stand
someone
it.
said
I
that
can't do it.
he and Jerry found each other several times in past lives, so they were that unlucky more than
Or it does mean maybe that they really are meant for each other, which in some ways it kind of
What's wrong?
they do kind of fit together, you know.
Are you leaving? Okay. I don't know how to turn all this off. Okay, sorry, y'all. I can't get left down in the theater by myself. I don't know how to turn it off. Okay, all right, y'all. Okay.
Tasha, I'll show you. I'll do like a little video.
A lot of mechanics down here. You can't leave me down here. All right. Okay. Can't be trusted down here. All right. All right. Sorry, y'all. I'm muting. He got tickled at hearing the part that I said about Jerry, that they found each other in separate lives or in other lives. He's like, oh, that they were that unlucky. Okay. Yeah. He said that was just wrong. No. Oh, he said it was funny. Okay. Funny, but wrong.
Yeah, almost as funny as my dad threatening him.
Gosh. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. So I did have him on non-mute today and I turned it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Oh, yeah. I can't stand how you could do that. I just can't.
I had to turn them off too.
Yeah, I had to turn it off. I was like, I'm in the
Joni.
I don't know how you do that. I have to hear what he has to say.
No, I get too mad and I just, and then
I have them on fast play. I tell you that.
oh yeah. But then my husband, but I can't do that with a live, or can you? But my husband
Oh yeah.
Ooh, careful.
No.
But
The videos.
I just scrolled over to the chat and Arlene says, how can he remember the past when he can't remember yesterday?
I know. Remember lifetimes.
Good
Okay.
point.
And don't y'all think it's funny that anybody that has reincarnation, it's a belief, and I'm really not trying to make fun of you if you are. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I've never seen anyone that believes in it. My husband came up with this joke. It's really not a joke, but he's the one who came up with it. He was like, have you noticed that anybody that believes in that, they're always someone like Julius Caesar, or they were this rich, person that was, they're never like, well, I was a maid, I was homeless, I lived under a bridge for a while, it really sucked. No, they all had these glamorous lives, which just to us, because we don't believe in it, just makes us scoff at it that much more, because we're like, it would be different if you're like, man, I was a cockroach, it sucked. I was a carriage repairman. Yeah, like Todd says, why isn't it ever something just mundane, But he was a diet of cholera. But no, he did. He's a fleet commander. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
It's something different every day with him.
I know. I don't know. It's just, I really, again, prove me some, if you believe in it, please tell me where I can go. We can go see that people don't always claim to be something like Marie Antoinette or something like that.
I don't recall a past life, so.
Yeah, me either.
Mm.
But, you just never seem to see anyone that claims that they had a bad past life. Maybe we're just missing that. There may be a whole series somewhere on that where those people.
Maybe this is my first life. I don't know. Plenty more to go.
I wonder if he worked in his past life.
Probably not.
Well, he said he was a commander of a ship of some sort, right? Wasn't he a commander of a ship?
I swear it was submarine. I'm almost positive it was submarine commander.
Okay, baby, where are you? To be a submarine commander, what are the smarts needed for that?
Can you imagine him? He'd be like the Three Stooges on there.
I don't know.
He says it's mostly experience, really. All right, so
Ask him if they can do it if they have shin splints.
can you be a ship? Can you be a sub commander if you have shin splints? He's laughing.
Maybe in his past life he did.
You played soccer.
Right.
Maybe in his past life he was a He-Man.
Oh well.
Oh.
He got asked today if he was Thor, and he giggled at that. I did see that. He thought that was quite funny.
And I got really upset when he made the comment about don't accuse him of being Buddhist and all these other Asian religions.
You have him now. Yeah.
You know how
What's
disrespectful
wrong with
that is?
that?
That's what I'm saying. What do you know how disrespectful that is?
Uh-huh. Wow.
I don't know. He apparently had him in the army.
Well,
That's why
was somebody drilling him about that or something? Or I mean, I haven't watched. I took Sunday off. You know.
somebody said something about that comment he made about being reincarnated. They asked him, or said that he must be a Buddhist or whatever,
Yeah, he got mad
and
at
he
Oh, I
flipped
have that belief.
his
I see. Hmm.
he flipped his lid.
Wow.
and said that what was it that he said? He said basically from a Christian, a heathen Christian, which is okay. You know, it's kind of where I said before, where he's kind of like because again, you guys, if you're a Christian, there are no perfect Christians. That's what Jesus died for, is because none of us can be a perfect Christian. He was the only one. But your heart has to be in the right place where you don't want to keep committing the same sins, where you want to be better, where you want to, where you keep examining yourself. And so there's that famous quote in the Bible, or about being riding the fence, and you're basically a lukewarm Christian, where you're just or where God says, I never knew you. And that basically means you attested to be in my book of life, but I didn't know you. You didn't have any relationship with me. Anybody can say they know me. So, saying he's a heathen Christian, I think what he meant by that was, I want to put underneath this umbrella, I want to find a way to fit witchcraft and spells, which I guess would be witchcraft, and, Vikings and Valhalla. And that's just not allowable. I mean,
Well, I mean, he's basically going off the labels that there is today. You know what I mean? Like, he's classifying himself. Oh, now I'm a heathen Christian.
Right.
He's just basically going off the labels that are available today. He's not. He's trying to like not put any separation between them. Like, he can be all these things at once. So whatever, Jim. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do.
I didn't hear very much religion talk. He said it was going to be Bible study. Didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
No, he was too busy bowing up and beating his chest and acting like a.
I thought that Sundays were going to be Bible studies now. I mean, I partially I didn't feel like watching, because I didn't want to hear him babble about something he read a few sentences of, and thinks he knows it all now.
Well, he spent a lot of time. Well, maybe not a lot, but I got mentioned quite a bit. Then my dad got mentioned, and of course, Kim got kicked out because he finally figured out who she was.
I think Jerry told him.
I think somebody else might have.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
y'all, I'm really, truly.
Yeah, and we're not supposed to talk about Jerry either on Jim's channel. And then Rebecca shows up, and then they start talking about Jerry. And I said,
that rule always gets broken.
And if we're not talking about Jerry on this channel, then Jerry needs to stay the F out of the chat.
Well, and I'm not okay. I always tell y'all where I'm not gonna have a marriage where I'm a jealous wife, and he's, I want my man to look good. I consider that a compliment to me, and vice versa. Want to keep ourselves up however we can, that kind of thing. However, if my husband, let me just lay down the law. He's going to bed. I'm gonna make sure he knows the statement better not ever happen, since I'm not. Well, that I am a jealous wife, right? Okay. You better answer no. Did you even hear me? Okay, good. I was like, I'm about to be shown up. He's going to be like, hold on, I don't want to answer that. You know that I'm not a jealous wife. I'm always like, go do your things, have fun, that kind of thing, right? Okay, so, and tell me if you don't.
Good choking him.
This isn't the Jerry show, so you can, you're not backed in a corner. I promise it's okay. However, today, I heard a comment that said, I just can't stop, y'all, and paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact sentence. I can't stop. I've had so-and-so on my mind, and I'm a good bit, and I'm concerned about that. If you mentioned that you had any woman on your mind a good bit, and then we're concerned about that, I would find that troubling. Okay. What do you think of that? Is that jealous? I mean, isn't that weird for a man to say that?
Yeah, why would you say that on the web?
Yeah, and so y'all, I'm sorry. I'd been wanting to ask him about that. Because I thought that now he doesn't know who Nelly is, nor does he know that that is a strange comment. Well, he obviously knows it's a strange comment, but he doesn't know in context. You know what I mean? But still, that's even better, because I just think that as jealous as I am not, I still would be like, you had who on your mind? And for how long and what? And especially, why are you concerned about it? No, both are just equally what? So, yeah. And Jerry didn't have any problem with it.
No.
I know I had a problem with this. Like he made the comment about he makes his mom 2 meals a day. What the? You live there.
Yeah.
You're feeding your wife. Why wouldn't you feed your mother too? And why can't
He
your
says
wife
he
really
does.
do more? And she's had these stomach issues for months. She has stage 4. Well, I think you might want to go to the doctor, sunshine.
Well, yeah, or push your weight around. You know, you act like big man on the TV.
Or quit taking Miralax every day, twice a day.
Exactly.
No, she's never listened to that advice. Okay. I mean, that is just ridiculous that you take stool softeners too
And
daily.
she drinks it every morning in her coffee.
And then she wonders why she poops herself. I mean,
I think she wants to have the biggest shit so Jim can clean it up.
maybe. I mean, sadly,
Possibly.
it's gross. But yeah, that.
He's done that for years.
You know, and he says,
She
well,
has
I
been
have
doing
my
that for years.
opinions. He said, I have my opinions. Well, I've said that for how long? I have my opinions, right? We're all entitled to opinions.
Right.
So only Jim, you're entitled to your opinion about moving out of the house and what your mother wants or what your mother needs. Only your opinions count.
Well, and so another thing, they say that they don't listen. And so somebody caught, Finney, did you see that he said the RBD the other day?
Yeah, I was a little bit irritated by that.
Because what's that stand for? That's your thing. You've kind of,
Report,
What is it?
block, and delete, and then repeat when needed. You
Yeah.
know, that's the way to handle the trolls, which is a common knowledge kind of thing among any YouTuber. You know, anybody that's on YouTube knows that's all you got to do. You just report, block, delete.
Sorry.
You know, get rid of them. Don't give them any attention, that kind of thing. It's the best way to handle any trolls. Just kick them out.
So now Jim, I just don't see him coming up with that statement himself. I just
just like Jerry didn't come up
He
with the statement
watches.
I make. Jerry
He
didn't come up
watches
with
it.
that statement.
no.
That statement I always like to quote of, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. She said that in that in one of those lives or whatever. It's like, yeah, I wonder where you got that, sweetheart.
Because I've never heard that until
I
you.
haven't
It makes
either.
total sense, but that is so. I'm sorry. No, you got that directly from listening to us.
Yeah, well,
Which
they're
is
not really
fine.
original.
But which is fine. But quit lying and saying you don't listen, because you've just busted yourself.
You do, yeah.
I mean, I cannot bust myself for the hate lives that were done about us, because I truly wouldn't go listen to them. I only know the tiniest tidbits that were told to me. That's it. And even those, because I wasn't there to experience them firsthand and get really mad and have them just ingested in myself. You know what I mean? Which is why I didn't watch, because I didn't want to give it power to make me upset. You're watching. You're choosing to watch, and you're obviously choosing to take some tidbits away.
But don't lie about it. You know what I mean?
Just admit it.
That really, there's no shame in it.
No, just say it. If you're talking about me, I'm going to watch.
Hey, Mr. Fleet Enema Commander, why not? Why not? Why not? Just admit that you watch. Over here, because wouldn't that be a strategic move? And you're just so proud of your heritage and how strong and everything that you are. Wouldn't that be a strategic move to see what the enemy's camp is doing? Don't be ashamed of it. Just admit it.
Just own it. I mean, we admit we watch y'all. You know, we do. Today, I thought he made a comment that I do not believe was directly from Jim. I just do not. He said, and I didn't have him on mute at the time. And because I made it about halfway through and I just was like, nope. And that's because I did have him on mute. That's why I don't have him on mute most of the time, or why I have him on mute most of the time. Well, that's one of the reasons. Anyways, because a lot of times he's on when we're watching, maybe. But regardless, he made a comment today saying that I almost wish, and he named you, Finny. He said, I think the name is Finding Finny. Well, when have we known him to get
When
names
was
right?
Yeah,
this?
you got it right. My mouth dropped on
When
that
was
one.
this?
Today.
Today's
Oh, yeah, I
live.
didn't watch. Okay, I really didn't.
Yes. And so, y'all, anybody that has watched him, even in the chat, I know that he botches the names. Okay, he botches them. I mean, he's thought of he's called me three different people for 2 years. Okay, I'm House, I'm Box, and I'm House of Joan. Okay, I'm all of those things. Never once am I Joni. I'm House, Box, or House of Joan. Okay, so for him to
He
get
gets my name right.
yeah, that's amazing. So for him to say Finding Finny and get it right today, I was like, but my jaw, I just dropped. And he said, well, you know, I'm paraphrasing, Finding Finny, one of their number or whatever, however he said it, Finding Finny has made this comment. They should boycott. Well, I wish they'd boycott. I only wish you'd boycott and leave us alone. That's straight from Jerry.
Yeah, well, actually,
Oh yeah.
to a certain degree, I am. Didn't watch today. But of course, I do know that she wasn't even on. So,
No, she wasn't on, but
yeah, I
you
didn't
know,
watch today. But
the
yeah,
lesser of two evils. I'm not watching her. I'm just not.
but you're looking at my channel, and actually, I do know he subscribed to my channel just this week. After last weekend, he subscribed to my channel, and so he's looking at my channel. And yeah, I put up a post today on the community tab. You know, that ban Jerry from being on YouTube and boycott. And I keep putting them up. You know, like every Sunday when I expect that she's going to go on, they're going to keep going up. You know, that's just the way I feel about her. She has nothing of any value to say. What's she going to do? Teach us something?
I still throw out the same challenge, okay, to the new troll addicts that she has, which are just about 2 or 3 people. Again, in my, I would swear to that. It's the same people using several aliases, 2 or 3 people, mostly one. Name me anything. I need proof. I need receipts. Show me something positive that she adds to this world. And it's got to be something real, okay? Not talk about how she was a nutritionist or an EMT or a submarine diver or a postal driver that drove her thing into the dirt or the ditch the first night. Name something positive that she does for this world, because I can tell you something positive about every single one of the ladies on the panel that they do. And I'm not talking about these things that we're doing right here. Okay. That's because we do have lives outside of here. We all go do things. We all have fun. And that's part of why we're so appalled that you guys haven't left. Have they left the house aside from that excursion to go use the latest free gift card at that gas station, where they then promptly went right back home? And remember, the gift card was to go to the doctor. It was to actually go, okay? For gas. It wasn't to go get honey buns and Red Bulls and Mountain Dews. Oh, there was one tragic thing today, and I got so tickled. This was right before I turned it off, though, because it just wasn't enough to keep me on there. It was Sally apparently has bought Jim Diet Mountain Dew. Blasphemy!
That had me laughing too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, boy, he can't even get it from his big mama that he's been with for 3 different lives. It is at Sally to buy him the diet.
It's just wrong on so many levels. He's just probably like a kid just stomping his feet. Mama, first of all, one of your mamas had to buy it for you, and then it's not the sugary kind. And then, it's just... Sorry. I got so tickled at that. Oh, Jim, what will you do? What will you do? I guess get Jerry to get another free gas station gift card where you can go in and stock up on the kinds you really do want. I don't know. But, you know,
But I'm the spoiled brat.
oh, yeah, that went really wrong too. Him trying to say that you were, first of all, you weren't the only one on your live the other night. You were the one that had the live with him, but you were very kind to him. It's true that we stayed on the live after that, but it's America and we're allowed to still have our opinions.
What got me is I was a
So
spoiled
I
brat.
think Jerry was watching the chat, honestly.
Oh, I'm sure she was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jim always says y'all must not have lives. I think I'm going to start showing some pictures and some video of my lives. I'm not good at vlogs like Diane is. I still think I'm going to show some stuff.
What were you saying, Mona?
Well, I mean, it just amuses me that, like, I'm the spoiled brat. My dad didn't raise me right. That I'm grown. He shouldn't have to take up for me. Okay, your wife is grown.
Right. And he is like a 2-year-old that doesn't get his own way, Diane.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Diane Williams.
So, but yeah, my dad threatened him.
Jan, I've wondered that as well. She says, I think Jim has PTSD from being rejected by girls in high school. Maybe he can get disability for that. I do think that he probably was very sheltered, or not sheltered, but he wasn't a popular kid. Let's put it that way. I don't think that he was turning girls away. Which there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. But he never grew out of that, you know. Hey, Cozy. Yeah, we're on a different station. We're on a different channel tonight. So glad you're here. Yeah, Jim was going on about no.
Oh, and before I forget, make sure you like and subscribe and join Kim C, because she also does car vlogs and shorts, and she's getting more into it and going to be doing hauls. So hit the like button and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. And Debbie, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. Rachel let me know about that. I do have some good news about links. I think I've figured something out. So I'm going to be sending a link to Debbie and to Fiona's mom. I'm going to do that. I knew you hadn't needed time about your dad, but I'm going to go get that sent. Let me do that now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did respond. She commented in my comment section, and I feel horrible. It's so hard losing family. She did put in there that her father said he was ready to go home to be with Jesus, and I would have found that very comforting, you know, but it's still so difficult. But at least there's kind of a comfort there knowing, you know. So Debbie, you're in my thoughts and prayers, just so you know.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still hard to do without him, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
We miss him still.
I hate that Jim, sorry, going back to this, I hate that Jim
No, go ahead.
says that we're a hate group. I mean, we're not hating.
No.
I don't understand that. That's what causes trolls.
That's because we don't fall for what they say, or we don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Right. The only ones allowed to say anything.
They never lie. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
They never lie. Come on. We hear them wrong. Diety splices the words. Okay.
Splice and dice.
What gets me is that she still denies the fact she said what she said about Dottie. She still denies that. We all heard it wrong.
I know someone like that. They're committed to their lie no matter what, even though they were cold busted. And it is extremely frustrating because it's like we have all the evidence in the world, and you're even trying to make it my fault because I'm not believing you. And it's like there couldn't be more evidence here. That's Jerry, where she is going to, I think at this point she's going down with that no matter what.
Instead of just owning it and saying, yeah, I said it. It's her
Why not
channel.
just say it? It's your channel. Do what you want. You've certainly done much worse. I want to say a quote that I found the other day, and I put it on Discord in Sally's group. It says, and this is for the trolls because we know you're listening. If you want to love someone, tell them the truth. If you want to hate someone, know the truth and say nothing. Hello, Limber, which is JHP. It's still Jacqueline.
Say that again.
If you want to love someone, tell them the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hate someone, hate them. That's a real hater. If you want to hate someone, know the truth and say nothing.
Man,
That's the kind of people that they surround themselves with.
Yeah.
And that's why you see some celebrities that have died young, because they surrounded themselves with people who would only tell them yes, who would say, no, it's okay. Take some more propofol. Don't you worry about it, Michael. Go ahead. You know, and I know that doesn't seem at all like the same thing, but it is. You're only allowed in her sphere now, in their sphere of reality is a farce, if you're willing to tell them what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
See
They
those
want the yes people.
yes people. That's it.
And I'm not a yes person.
No, I will cheer someone on all day long. I will be your best cheerleader when you do the right thing, or when you do the hard thing, or when you know what I mean, you get up and do something for yourself, or that kind of thing. But I'm not going to feed you more alcohol if you're an alcoholic. I'm not going to feed you more junk food if you are a food addict. And I am certainly not going to tell you that you can afford a house that you can't even afford a doghouse. That is ridiculous. I mean, how is that getting you the house? Jerry knows better, y'all. She is just dependent on wearing Sally down.
Not just that, she's piping Jim up too. She's
Yeah.
done this with the RV and the camping, the Colorado. It's a Jerry thing.
And Jim, if you are listening, okay, if you are listening, don't you ever wonder why none of these dreams come true for you? I mean, talk about somebody giving you, I'm going to be gross for a minute, giving you blue balls, okay? I'm going to get hate mail for that one. But, okay, I'm owning it, okay? Talk about giving you, a huge letdown. She gets you all excited, We're going camping, Jim. Look, I wouldn't have bought all this stuff if we aren't really going camping. One minute it's the van, next minute it's going to be an RV, next minute it's going to be the one that Mona's giving you. And then the next minute, you know what? That's not coming true. Oh, but hold on, Jim. Don't worry about that. We're going to go to Colorado. That's what's going to happen. You've always wanted to live there, right? We're going to Colorado, even though I don't really intend to go, but we're going to go to Colorado, okay? I mean, it's crazy. Don't you get upset with that? You know deep down y'all can't afford it. Why would your mom lie to you? Why would all these people lie to you? I mean, aren't you tired of being let down? I think she just...
No, because it's all our fault. It's
Yeah.
our fault, not hers.
It's easier to hate us, and you love easy. Both of y'all love easy. They love the easy way out. And it's just easier to blame us. When she's gone, if she does die before you, because I really think it's a toss-up, and I'm trying to be mean. I think she could, just going to drive you to an early grave out of stress. But seriously, I hope that's not the case. But don't you hate them? I mean, there's so many good people out here who tried to help you. You've torched your relationship with all of them. Granted, it'll take him 30 minutes to figure out which one of me it is that's telling him this. But still, it's sad. It really is. Because you don't have to. It doesn't mean that you're cheating on your wife or being unloyal to her, disloyal to her, by saying, okay, you know what, Jerry? I do find truth in what they're saying. Look at how many times you've let me down. She's doing it again with the disability. You're not going to get that disability quickly. It's going to be at least 1 to 2 years. And I don't think you're going to get it at all.
There's no guarantee he'll get it.
No, but she's making it sound just like when you were going to Colorado. You were going to, no matter what, Jim, as soon as we enter the state line, you'll be paid, what was it, $35,000 or $32,000 a year for taking care of me. She makes all this sound that easy. And Jim, you are way too old to be believed.
Promises.
All broken promises. When has she kept her promises? You know that she never pays people back. She just doesn't. Maybe once out of every 10, 12 times?
Mm-hmm.
If she has to borrow from so many people, Jim, why do you think you're in a place to buy a house? somebody ran some more numbers. I wish we had them with us. I didn't run them, so I can't show them anyway. That's not my place to do so. But it was yet again enlightening on just how much they can afford. And this person not only did it truthfully, but once again was a little giving to them in their YouTube money that they get and in their credit, not factoring in that they have a judgment or debt consolidation. Because
They factored in Jerry's SSI.
yes, they did factor that in. So, it's very sad that let me close Discord because I don't want y'all to hear that sound. But yeah, it's very sad that all of this is sad. It's just all very, very sad. I've truly never seen two people that don't want to face reality as much as these two.
Can you actually give I know you don't have it in front of you, but like the guesstimate of if they made this much and their debt ratio and everything, this is the number of the amount of a house they could afford to buy. Do you have those numbers available?
I can open it up. You know who you are that did it. Will you let me know in the chat if you're okay if I say the amount?
Me?
No, not you.
Oh, sorry, I was reading something.
Let me pull up the amount. Hold on.
Let me go let Gizmo.
It was shocking. My jaw was on the floor.
The silence.
I was going to say, don't all talk at once.
Diane, I have a question. You know how
no.
today he was talking about getting that plot of land and her building that tiny home like she wanted. You've been pricing tiny homes, so can you kind of tell us what the pricing is?
Well, if you buy new, it's much more expensive. There are some that you could buy used for about 59 to 75. New, you're looking upwards of over 100,000.
Is that with or without the land, Diane?
That's without the land.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's without the land.
And so he acts like it's no big deal.
But see, I think Sally would probably want smaller than what I'd want. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
you'd
but
probably
still,
be looking at brand new for her, maybe about 75,000 plus the land,
which is like buying a house all over again.
Right?
Plus
and
having to have something for them to live in.
That's not right. I don't understand where they feel that when she buys land that it should include them.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she have to foot the bill?
Why would a woman of her age want to buy land? There's the bottom line question. Why would a woman of her age want to buy land? I wouldn't, and I'm younger,
I'm 62 and I do want to get a thing of land but I'm into mowing my lawn. I'm into keeping healthy. You know what I mean?
But they're talking like acres. I mean,
right.
No. At this stage of the game, it's so much, maybe 1 acre or less. That's doable. But I mean, they're talking. They think they need acres. You don't even do the little yard that you have.
Like what? For the love of God.
It was just the way he talked about it today was so nonchalantly, like it was no big deal. We'll get the 3 acres of land. Mom can build the tiny house she's been talking about, and we'll get us something to live in. It's a whole house all over again.
But I mean, is this been discussed with Sally?
Well, Jim says,
like it's no big deal. Has it been discussed with her? And now this is her plan.
But then,
I've asked
when Jerry was asked on the live, Jerry says, "Well, it's all up in the air." So I think Jerry knows, but I'm sure when that bedroom door is closed. I'm sure Jerry says thing to Jim. I'm 99.999% sure.
Kim, can you put up what I just pulled up real quick? So
You're right,
this is
Diane.
what they can afford. So just hit that's down in the green room. Or she may not hear me. I can say what it is. Okay. So on an affordability calculator, you guys, does anybody have a guess what Jerry and Jim can actually afford? And this is being more than fair. We are not counting the debt consolidation or this judgment on Discover card for $12,000. That's just from a couple months ago. Okay. So anybody want to take a guess? The amount that they can comfortably afford, and that is not taking into account bad credit, is $14,000.
$10,000. Oh,
Well, we're out there. It's $14,316. You can afford a house up to $14,316 based on your income. And that is giving them, again, a much more fair shake than any bank is going to give them. Because banks aren't in it to lose, you guys. Let's just be real. They're going to see that debt consolidation and then just getting that judgment a couple months ago. It's not from 3 years ago. They just don't make enough money regardless.
What was the estimated income to arrive at that number?
$15,000.
Okay, yeah.
And that's with them paying a monthly debt of $250. That's with no down payment. And again, this is considering good credit. This is with no credit issues.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they come to it comes to $14,316.
So what does $14,600 buy you?
Or $316.
Okay,
Well, I know. So
I can't even get a single wide that you'd have to tow alone for under 10,000. So that's not
Right.
on no land or anything, and that's something that, because I'm looking forward to do some projects and stuff like. So I'm looking through a lot of different avenues, but it's going to be a shack.
But that doesn't, and that doesn't include that, that moving expense, moving it to the wherever
Right,
it's at,
that's
to
expensive.
the land,
Yep.
which is very, very. It's almost as much as the mobile itself. I mean, to move it and for them to set it up and do all the hookups and all that stuff that's needed. It's
so expensive. Yeah. So, I don't know if anybody wants to test this, but look up, Rolla or surrounding areas, maybe within like 100-mile radius. I'm trying to think of how far they'd be willing to go, and try to find what you can buy for $14,300. And again, that would be if they can find a bank that doesn't care about their credit. Find me that bank, because I don't know where they are. But
and so that would have to be a mortgage loan.
I am the last one to ask about mortgage loans. I mean, I do own a house,
Well,
but
I mean, that's what that estimator was for an actual mortgage.
yes,
Okay.
it was on Zillow's mortgage affordability.
Okay, so that doesn't really include like what they, which we already know the answer to this too, that they're not going to get financed for pretty much anything. There's no, I'm gonna take that back. I'm sure they could probably go to, the credit trouble places where you've got bad credit and, at this astronomical interest rate that's ridiculous, where you pay twice as much, if not 3 times as much as any person with, the average credit that can get into some place. But I mean, what I'm talking about is like, even let's take it to where they were trying to finance the RV. Okay, so let's take that as an option. That okay, you're not going to get a house, so maybe you can get an RV. Even at that rate, they'd have to try and find something really used that would probably need repairs and not be the best or somewhat unreliable. I don't know much about RVs. But
we've been looking at them a long time. They could get one, Finny, but it would be small. Or if you know, it would be very small. And if it's not small, now they could get a big one, but then they're going to run into, they need a vehicle that will tow it. And when I say a big one, it's still going to be very, very limited for $14,000. You
Well,
know,
let's
it's
say
gonna,
they weren't towing it around the country, okay?
right.
That they decided to take, let's say that it was like a fifth wheel trailer or something like that,
Mhm.
some kind of, um, not really an RV that you drive, something that you tow, and so they might find one used for that
Sure.
amount. That's a halfway decent size, but they're going to have to park it somewhere. Meaning they're going to have to probably take it to an RV park
Hmm.
that that which in the rent for the space you get your electrical hookups and water and that kind of thing, and a lot of those places have internet service, but it's still, those have all gone up as well. The prices in just parking stuff like that, they've all those places have gone up in their pricing as well, just due to what's happened in the last 5 to 10 years.
Sure.
People, because that has been a big movement. I don't know. I mean, that might be where Jim and Jerry thought that that was a good idea, because there is a lot of videos out there where people have decided to take on upon themselves the nomad life, where they
Right.
live in an RV, they travel around, park where they want, don't really have like a home base and that kind of thing. But I can't see Jim and Jerry doing that, like traveling the country with this thing, because they just don't have the means, the vehicle, the setup, the know how, any of it. They'd have to just pretty much park it in a place and
Hmm.
keep it there. And that's what I was getting to, is all those places, because this has been kind of a movement. All these places like that, these RV parks and whatnot, have realized the need for their services these days, because of all the people that are doing it.
Hmm.
And
People.
not just that, with a fifth wheel. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry. Because I've been
No,
looking into
it's
so many
okay. Go
things.
for it.
With a
Go for it.
fifth wheel, a lot of times it's a seasonal site, or
Yes.
because they don't do residence, so to say, they'll do 10 to 21 days. Then you'd have to move it to somewhere else or go somewhere else. Or there was one
Right.
that I was looking at down in Florida. They wanted $1,085 per month to keep it there full time.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I'm
what I was
saying.
about to bring up. So,
Well,
like Deidre
that's as much
mentioned,
as rent. That's as
right.
much as rent. And,
Well, and Deidre mentioned, so she's in an RV park right now, and the prices a night go from about $50 to $120 a night. And it can go up more than that if you're in a really trendy place like, Disney World's Wilderness Lodge, that kind of thing. So, and then, I mean, they're not taking into account how tiring it is to completely set up and take down an RV if you're moving it around. That's a lot of going on, and that's not taking into account also the having to drive it, to tow it, to turn with it, the weight, getting it balanced, all that different stuff. If you think, Jim, that it's a pain in the neck to clean up after her when she craps the bed, try, unloading the RV, the waste and
the
all the
waste
different
tank,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so much of a going on. You just have to. One of my father-in-law's quotes, I wish I could remember it now, especially since he's no longer here, but they've had like 5 or 6 RVs. And he has always said, you need to love this lifestyle. And they didn't do it full time, you guys, but you need to love it, because it isn't as simple as just going there, paying for each site, and then sitting and waiting for it to all be done. There's so much to do with it. And if they were to find a smaller RV, I mean, there's still the whole thing where, remember Pam Sparrow said, she was like, she's not getting in any RV. How is she getting in and out of an RV? How is she getting in? And because the steps are not easy for somebody who is, I mean, I think she can do more than she says, but still, they're steep stairs. They're not real sturdy. They do have those power attachments for somebody in a wheelchair, but those are thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean, you can buy or have a set of little stairs made to go with you, versus the steps that come attached to the
Mhm,
RV. You can have those,
mhm,
but still, it's yeah. The doors, the doors are
mhm.
much narrower than any regular door frame.
Sure. Yeah. And it's just so getting
I
into the
told you
bathroom,
that. And
we
them
used to
little
think
single
that.
wides, them doors are not standard doors.
That,
No.
The
that's
single wides.
like
That's not even talking
for
about a
like the
trailer.
bathroom, you
No,
know?
she will not be able to maneuver the restroom in a fifth wheel or
No,
anything like that. No.
it's
Well, no,
just
like even in a single wide, like you just mentioned, Diane, if you've
No.
ever seen an interior of one, the bathroom door, and
It's
actually
small.
anybody's bathroom door, like even I've seen it in apartments and things, the bathroom door itself is narrower than any other doorway in the
In the house.
house,
Mhm.
in like the bedrooms or from, whatever, closets, whatever. The bathroom door is a narrow way through. So even in a mobile home,
Yeah,
definitely in an RV, it's tiny.
right.
So good luck with that. I guess the commode's just gonna sit front and center, so that's where it. But
Well, and to give you an idea, again, like with my family, where I have so many people in my family who've taken this on and done it. We're still a little apprehensive. We thought we were going to do it last year. We think we're going to do it this year. It's just because we want to be responsible about how we do it. It's a lot to take on, and it's one of those things where there's so many people that regret getting a boat. We believe that we won't regret the RV, but there's still a lot to take into account. We don't want it to strap us for cash. We want to make sure that we understand, like Finney just mentioned, how the rates have gone up at these different parks. What good does it do us to buy the RV if we're then saying, well, dang, all these places have gone up so much. Well, what are we going to do? Use it in our driveway? I mean, it's just you have to think about all those things. And we're talking about two people who just want it given to them. They want everything done for them. The only way I think an RV would work for them is if it's given to them, Jerry never travels in it, and somebody drives it for Jim and sets it up every time. So none of that's going to happen. So I mean, it's just not at all reasonable.
it's another pipe dream.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if today, let's say that, Margarita with her celebrity lifestyle said, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm going to show I'm real, and I'm going to chuck some money their way, and I'm going to buy them some land, and I'm going to buy them an RV or one of the two, whatever. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and do this for them. They would still not be able to deal with the fact that Jerry can't get in and out of it. Let's say, fine, you get the specialty stairs or the power thing to get her up and in of it. Well, what are you going to do about the bathroom? Okay, because you still can't fit in and out of that bathroom. I mean, there's just
Like
so
I said, that commode's going to sit front and center to where it's like right in the middle of the
right.
of the place, so that she can get to it.
Yeah. And then even if all of that worked out, we know for a fact Jerry is not going to scale down enough for an RV. An apartment, yes, but an RV, not the kind they can afford. I mean, the one that we're looking at, even that, there's still not a lot of. You just have to manage your expectations. You know what I mean? You can't overload them. I mean, it's unsafe.
Well, back when Mona was going to give him the camper before things went south, my thought on that. Sorry, Mona, but my thought on that was it was going to be another storage shed for all Jerry's shit.
Yes,
That's
what
what
I
they
thought.
do. They would put it in the carport or whatever, and all they do was she would want to pack stuff into it. You know,
I even thought about that and thought, well, at least Jim will have a place to storm out to and stay in. And then I was like, no, that won't happen, because she will fill that up as soon as she's able to. And it will be just another storage shed, which was just yet another reason. I didn't know Mona at the time, but I thought, my goodness, please
right?
do
Yeah,
this.
I didn't either, but I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you
This
know.
is like, yeah. I mean, these people all know, we know Mona's got a good heart, but at the time, now Mona understands why we were like, please give it to somebody who will not only use it, but who will treat it with the love that your family had for it. But now I love Mona's idea to turn it into something for her channel and her business.
Yeah.
That isn't that, I just think that is, I know I've said it before, it's just such a fantastic idea. Love
That'd be cool.
Yeah, to show the renovations and all the different things. And get this. So Kimmy and Diane and Mona, and I'm hoping you will, Finney, but no pressure, even though I'm hoping, and I'm a bit of a pest, we'll do a cooking collab. And so all of them today had said, hey, I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. So I was like, really? Oh my gosh. So we're definitely going to do that, you guys. We're just going to figure out what we're going to do. I know Kimmy said she'd like to do a dessert. So I'm really looking forward to that, you guys. I think it's just, I mean, to me, cooking always goes on somebody's channel because everybody eats. Everybody might not craft. Everybody might not thrift. Everybody might not, I don't know,
You
talk
might
about,
be surprised about what I'm about to do on my channel.
uh-oh,
I
which
mean,
one? You've got more than one.
well,
Is it
the
legal? You can tell us. You can tell us if it's legal.
yes, it's legal.
Can we take a sidebar real quick? You can tell us.
No, the other channel, no, it's always going to stay the same.
Right, and what it is,
Gonna
yeah.
be with the music and the ambiance and the videos and shorts and stuff. That one's going to stay the same. But with this channel, I'm actually going under. What you're gonna be surprised at is the direction as far as the videos and everything that I put up regarding the couple that we frequently talk about. I'm not really going to talk about them anymore. Instead of, I'm going to switch it. He said, why don't you do something with your own lives? So I'm going to respect Jim's wishes. And I'm not really going to talk about what they are doing, what they're not doing usually. And any of that. I'm going to go with talking about my own life and that kind of thing. And you'll see.
Awesome.
See
Well,
the way
I know you.
and I'm actually going to give you a little tour. I got to do that this week. I've got everything decorated for Halloween. I'm actually going to give you a little home tour.
Awesome. I've been hoping for that. I'm going to be doing one as well. I feel like mine's going to be a disappointment because I just haven't put up that much this year. But you know what? I'll still show you. And then I'm going to let you guys do a poll on which room you want me to show you for me to start on for the makeovers first. So whichever one, I think I'm going to do the master bedroom unless people would rather something else. But
I started like
You know what I would rather?
and I just got done today.
I know, you guys, I still have one area I'm doing and I've only got a little bit of time, and that's my pet peeve. I don't like doing things at the last minute decor wise, but you know what? I was like, no, I think I'll put a little more here, and it's just at the front when you come in. I'm still not going all out and having like lights and all a bunch of different stuff like I love to do, which that's a shame because lighting is my favorite first thing to do because it makes it so cozy, but it is what it is. We have workers and different stuff going on where we have those pinhole leaks in our walls. What's happened, you guys, is the builder that built our house used a kind of piping that it's renowned for having issues. And so we've had these little pinhole leaks that, all of a sudden I've looked up and I'm like, why is there water on the ceiling? And my husband runs upstairs and he's like, did a toilet overflow? And I'm like, honey, nobody's been up there in 2 weeks. What? And so what it was that it was these little pinhole leaks, and they're all on one segment of piping. So we're hoping that's all it'll be. So insurance has paid us, but we still have a hole the size of like a coffin where you come in by the mudroom. So, and then the floors have to be replaced on one little area in the kitchen. This is all messy stuff. You know what I mean? The whole downstairs, at least not our bedroom or whatever, has to be repainted, the ceiling, because my husband was like, that all has to be done. Otherwise you will see a mark where it stops and starts. But yeah, I mean, our pantry right now looks like Swiss cheese, where he keeps taking out parts of it to find it because he's repairing some of it himself, and the rest, some of it I was like, we are having that paid. You're not doing all of it. So anyway, regardless, it's just been so frustrating. And so I just don't get as motivated when, when the house is a mess in certain areas because, things are piled up because I've got them moved out of the way for different things. But I'll still show you. You know what? I showed you guys my craft room, the way it looked. So I'll show you guys this. It's just real life. I'm being real, I mean, on the one hand, I think a lot of us want to, I just hate in some ways that Pinterest and Instagram in many ways have made us, or at least made me, especially with a lot of my friends, feel like we just have to only show these Pinterest-worthy areas. And it's like, well, I can't do that right now. I have these leaks, and I have a husband who, it's awesome because he's always doing these projects, but there's always at least one area where, you know what I mean? He's putting in cabinets, and that just doesn't get done and it look like Pinterest. It just doesn't, especially when he has a full-time job. So, and I have a guy who likes to rotate. You know what I mean? He doesn't like to finish one area. He'll get bored of one area and then he'll go to another one. And I'm like, oh man, can we? And I don't want to complain because at least he's doing it. It's certainly cheaper than hiring it out, but I would certainly rather him hire it out. So we're doing some of that. Anyway, so I'm going to show you guys, but Finny, I could not be more excited because I would love for any of you ladies to show, you know, within whatever's safe, of course, with social media, to show us what you want to, you know, and are willing to show. Because I get the best ideas from you guys. I really do. So I think that will be super fun. My goal is to show mine this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, it'll be sometime this week for me. I'm gonna get it together, you know, and just do it.
Well, and how much you love Halloween, I'm so excited to see it, especially because, you know what I mean?
It's nothing crazy over the top. I can say that. It's just, you know, done up for, you know, for the season and everything. And that will actually change once Halloween is over. It'll just be brought down to like the fall elements and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where I'll scale that back. But yeah, I'm gonna show.
No, I can't wait. I really
No,
can't.
I can't either.
Yeah, because I mean, I
Okay.
feel like, and same with like the cooking. You know, somebody might be like, "Well, my channel's not really about cooking." Well, you eat, don't you? So why not show some food? I just always feel like, why not show it? I know that's the food.
Are you gonna have a theme?
Well, that's what I'm thinking of, you guys. So I thought we might powwow about it and see if, you know, if any of our friends in the chat want to tell us if there's a theme. I thought we could maybe do something fall. I've certainly gotten so many people that are like Mexican whenever I ask
We
about
can do
different
that. We could do Italian night. We could do Oriental. We could, you know, all the different.
I think that's any of those are great. And we could do, you know, like a seasonal, I mean, everybody doesn't have to drink. There's mocktails and that kind of thing. So, you know, I'm looking forward to experimenting with some different things and that kind of thing. As far as, you know, on my channel, I thought about doing a separate one just for my husband's recipes for cocktails. And I was like, no, for now, we're going to put them together. We will just see how it goes. But definitely, I think it will be so much fun to see more. Like Diane will tell me about these things she makes. And I'm like, Diane, please show. And she's gotten used to doing her thing in the car, you know. And the other day I tried to do a vlog and I was like, all right, I am so miserably failing at being Diane. I just no.
Me too. It's hard doing a car vlog.
It
You
is.
would think it would be easy, but it's not.
Y'all, seriously. Joking around, even if you don't have a channel, get in the car and pretend you're talking to YouTube, okay? Because it's just not that easy. I'm like, okay, so that first one, y'all were looking completely straight up my nose. Okay, not showing that. That just looks ridiculous.
No.
And so maybe I need a different holder or something.
Or it's too close or it's too far away.
Right. Or it's so far away that I'm like, I feel like I'm having to shout to you. So, yeah. It's not as easy as you think. Although I do love shopping. And so I've wanted from the start of my channel to do a little bit of shop with me's, but I'm just not going to be real loud. I'm not going to be that person in the store who's drawing attention to themselves going, so today we're in Hobby Lobby. And no, you know, I just and I'm sure there's probably some stores that tell you, okay, you're not doing that. I'll never forget that one day that they told Diane that. I was so mad. I think it was Aldi. And I was like, what? We want to see Aldi. I was ready to throw stuff. I was like, what? No way. So I love what she got from you. That's going to be so good for that.
I think that camera that goes around your neck like that, I think will make things easier for her to do those.
Oh, 100%. Not having to hold it. Like the one that Queen sent me, I've charged it up. And so tomorrow I'm going to test it. I keep saying that. And I literally did finally charge it up and I've played with the buttons enough. You know, I'm not an instruction girl. I'm going to figure it out myself. So I'm going to walk around and show some stuff. So I kind of did that the other day in my first vlog, or not vlog, but it was a cooking video I did 2 days ago. I don't know if anybody stuck with it because I know it got long, but the greens that I was going to use went bad and I didn't realize it. And so I was like, well, I guess I could just come back to y'all after we got new ones. I was like, no, I'll just take everybody outside with the girls. And this will be kind of the beginning of me learning to not feel so, because the garage, my husband, sure enough, was like, you showed him the garage with it looking like it did right now. And I was like, I sure did. I did, you know, because there's nothing in there that I mean, at the end of the day, it's a full working shop. You know, we don't park in there anymore. And because he used to have a big shop in the basement, but I was like, no, that's real. I'm just going to show you real. So I think it was Lenny that gave me a compliment this week. And I was it Lenny? I don't mean to pressure you, Lenny. If it wasn't, who was it? It might've been Boog's mom. Was that the name? Said you're so, what was the word? Basically, it meant that I'm down to earth. And I was like, well, I guess that's the part of me trying not to. I'm trying to let go of that Pinterest thing where I'm, trying to feel like everything has to be perfect before I will show it, because then I guess you won't ever see it. Because I do have some areas that I think look so fantastic much of the time, but I just, in my own worst enemy, I think a lot of us do that where, I'm like, oh, I'm not showing that video. I didn't do this right or that right. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to get better at these videos as I learn more of what I'm doing. But in the meantime, anybody willing to watch, thank you. Because it's hard to know, how to do those different cuts and different stuff like that. So Finney's throwing me a bone and going to teach me.
You bet.
I know. We're going to make a day. We're going to go ahead and make a day, because that's the thing with me too. I've got to make a day and just do it. So
All you have to do is say what day.
awesome. I cannot wait.
We've
So,
already done this once.
I know. And I got to tell you, we got to put off the clothes for a while now, because my husband is now
All
up
you
in
both have to do is agree upon a day, and I can be pretty flexible.
okay. So you guys let us know.
I can
Whoever
work around it.
I'm going to it. Well, you're working. So I was going to say I'll work around.
I can work around it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready to do it, because I'm ready to get going.
Instead of doing some of the stuff in the day, I can just do it at night.
Yeah. Awesome.
If it's better for you guys in the afternoon, I can just push my stuff that I need to do with work to night. Which
Anytime
already started to slow just a little bit, but
Okay.
I expect it to pick back up again.
As we get
It'll
closer to it.
fluctuate. Yeah, it'll fluctuate back and forth.
Well, afternoon might be easier because we have some West Coast people, if any of them want to jump on, but I can do afternoon for sure. And I can do any day this week. My week getting busy this week like it was last week. So, yeah. What is Lenny saying? Sally will have to pay for yard maintenance again. Do you mean at her?
I think that's the whole
Williams
conversation.
says, she says, Diane Williams says, bottom line, Jim can't cut his grass. How is he going to cut 3 acres? What the heck? The acreage thing is just, I don't understand it at all. I really don't. It just makes no sense. I can't even find a good analogy for it. I had a really good one the other day when he was talking about it, and I wish I'd written it down because it was quite funny. Well, we know my jokes aren't ever funny, but I thought it was funny. And I was like, this is absurd. What? It just makes you want to smack both of them and go, well, please come back down to earth. Please. I know it's depressing to not have the money for the things that you want to do, but maybe you shouldn't have taken out the Discover card. Maybe you shouldn't have told Jim not to work. Maybe you shouldn't have a lot of these things. And now those things have come home to roost and you're stuck where, with very limited options. I think you guys, the RV thing, if they listen to this, which we know they do, that might actually be their most viable option if they weren't Jim and Jerry.
I could not see Jerry in an RV.
No.
And I'm
Where's she
not
gonna put all her
talking about
junk?
her weight at all. I am talking about,
All her stuff.
that's what I'm saying. She's got way too much stuff. And then they're going to be paying out the bed to have it stored somewhere.
Y'all seen her bedside table, right? Just the sheer amount of hoard on the
You
bedside
have to
table.
be a minimalist to live in an RV.
Yeah.
Especially if you went with my husband, because he doesn't like a bunch of junk.
No, you can't. You have to. It just doesn't work, And Jim, the way that he is and gets stressed with her, I'm a little surprised he's been able to avoid having a major breakdown, not leaving the house ever, and basically being as secluded and is not. I think he gets away and plays his game, and that's really his only escape from reality. But in an even smaller location, like an RV, but in an apartment, you'll still have a bedroom door. You'll have a door, because just don't ever underestimate the door, the power of a door. Being able to go behind your own door and have your own little space for a bit away from her and her, I just call it madness. That's what Todd called it the other day. He's like, this is madness. How can you listen to this? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, but how can you still ask me? Okay. Because obviously I'm not getting the message, because I still, turn it on and then get
Somebody qualify for some government assistance. She's got stage 4 cancer.
The way I see that, she is going to get anything that she can for free. Jerry trolls for free. That's what she does. She wants free.
But so why is she so resilient to being in Section 8?
or some. So I think because you had it right, resistant,
not
yeah.
resilient,
She's
resistant.
on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's resistant to Finney because you had it right straight out of the gate. You figured it out when you said if she goes to Section 8, she will have rules. She will not have a landlord who will say to her, "That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll pay it. Oh, you used 3,000 wipes again, and now I have a $30,000 bill. That's okay. I'll pay it. Don't you worry about it. While I'm at it, let me give you some credit card money for your bills." You know, that's not going to happen. That person, think about any other landlord, what they'd be doing if Jerry and Jim were pulling this stunt. What would any other landlord do, you guys? This is a really good question. What would any other landlord do if Jim comes out to his mom, or, you know, this person comes out to their landlord and says, "You know what? My wife is bound and determined," his words, "to stay in this house. Therefore, we are not looking, we're not packing." That was the statement in you know, a nutshell. I may have it mixed up a little bit, but that was the entire. He meant what he said, that she's bound and determined, and he meant what he said, that they were not moving, and therefore they don't have any reason to look or to pack. Though all of that was said and meant.
Mhm.
However, he delivered the sentence. What would any real landlord do? They'd be like, "Well, okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm getting out the eviction papers." Obviously, playing nice isn't going to work. So I think that's the problem that people have, because we want Sally to see what we see. And I think she sees it, y'all. She just,
I think she lives it.
She lives it. Yeah. So she sees it, she lives it. And at the end of the day, she's just, you know, she's going to handle it however she can, I guess, to maintain her sanity. And Mona ensures us that she's got a plan. And I think the best plan, don't you guys think, is for us not to know every detail instead of trying to know every detail, because then we have trolls. Speaking of trolls, I wanted to make an announcement tonight that, Kim, if you don't mind, about Discord. It appears that we definitely do have an actual real spy. So, Jim, let's go over the meaning of spy, okay? A spy is not someone that comes and listens to a public video. That is absolutely not at all, not in any language, any kind of altered reality or drug state or whatever does that describe a spy. It's just not. That's a public offering that you're putting out there when you make a video. Same with your wife. Anyone that comes to it is allowed to go away with any opinion that they want to, and if they share it, that might be gossip, but it's not spying. So first of all, you butchered that word. But second, we actually do have one in our Discord, in at least one of the groups, if not two. And it appears that it's at least one person, if not two. And we've thought that for a while, you know, because that's how desperate our trolls are. But yeah, you know, it's a shame that with one of them, it's somebody that, you know, we really thought was nice. And I guess that's not at all the case.
Who
So
is it?
it looks like it's Nellie. And that's a shame, because I really thought, and y'all, I'm not saying it because Jim mentioned her 4 times today and said he can't get her off his mind and he's concerned about it. That was just something strange and, you know, worthy of a little bit of a double take and a bit of a giggle, you know, but I mean, that's not at all what it is.
She played it off good, though.
She did. But if you notice, she said to him, "Jim, let's get on another subject, please." And she said that when he was talking about that somebody, remember, he kept attaching her name to our group. And I don't think that was a coincidence. And it's just a shame, because at the end of the day, it's been easy to figure out, because enough things have happened that, you know, we've seen a pattern. And I'm still not saying it's 100%, but it looks to be the case where it's happened enough times. And then Jim just made it that much more of an eyebrow raiser today, where he just Kelly in our group even said it. She's like, "You keep mentioning Nellie with the girls." That wasn't her exact sentence, but you kept mentioning. So that was just further, that didn't look good either, you know? And if you're not guilty of anything, then why are you needing him to move on, Nellie? He certainly drones on about Germany for the, 867th time, and he doesn't get told to move on. He drones on about I don't know, Norse cooking for God knows how many times. He doesn't get told to move on. Why? Only on that. He talks about the trolls. He talks about us, that he's done with us. He doesn't get told to move on. Now,
Move on. I
yeah,
mean, that's the thing. And Diane, what she says here, she thinks that, we send Kim to listen and watch. He just said it the other night. I did watch that one when he said, oh, there's, 83 people watching, but there's only 5 commenting, something like that. And it's like, well, it's because you have them all blocked, dude.
right. I mean, that's so
How are
simple.
people supposed to comment? Okay, so what that they're watching?
Right.
Isn't that what you want? Or would you rather have crickets? Because we could probably make that happen too. We can
Exactly.
remove, those 78 people that are just watching and not in your chat. We can somehow maybe get around that too. Would that be better for you, Jim?
You crack me up. Yeah. I mean, what? So, and I have to tell you, Nellie, because we now know for sure that you listen. That really makes me sad because when I said that day for you to come on a live, I did not mean it in a snarky way. I did mean it with Margarita because I know she's not real. And I know by her not being real, she is not an actual, woman on her second pregnancy of 17th month into pregnancy, and all. She's not real. Okay. I mean, she is a troll. And anybody that thinks that Nellie's real, you must also think that the Hensons are going to get a mortgage because I don't know what kind of reality stick you need to have an encounter with. But Nellie, that makes me sad because I thought really every time I've talked to you before I got banned again for absolutely no reason at all, or fine, if it's their reasons, that's fine. But either way, what I said to you each time when I would say, hey, Nellie, and I told you about the beach, when you asked me if I was wearing a bikini, different stuff like that, I was so kind back and I meant it. And anytime I would talk to you, you were kind. I meant what I said about your dogs. And I know that my friends did as well. We were truly being kind to you. And it wasn't to try to bring you to our side. The day that I said that if you want to come on a live, would I have had some hard questions for you? Yes, but they would have been very, very kind. And I would have said to you what I have said to everybody up until today, when there were just too many things that have happened too many times. And that was before Jim kept mentioning your name in relation to us, which again, just looks like, with Jim, you can count on Jim letting it go. He is going to say it. If you don't want a secret to get out, you don't need to tell it to Jim, because in some way it's going to eke out. And today, him saying your name so many times was just further to me a nod to the fact that you're reporting things that looks like, and that really does make me sad, because I had hoped that we could stay on our different sides of this issue, and I had even hoped that you were starting to see the light and you just didn't feel comfortable abandoning Jim, but no, that so it is what it is. It's just, I wish that you didn't feel the need to do if I'm wrong, I apologize. And I really do mean that, but I don't think that's the case. And I wouldn't have said it because I've thought it for a little while now and I didn't want to think that was true. So, and if I find out I'm wrong, I will come on and I will fully say, you guys, Nellie is completely innocent. She did not do these things. She is not listening and reporting and that kind of thing. And there's no need to report y'all if Jim's listening some himself. So I'm not saying y'all. I want to be.
Well, we do know that she is reporting some things, though.
Yeah. And so you know more than me. And we don't sit around and go, oh, do you think it's Nellie? So y'all can think that if you want. I have not even asked you. And I've known that you know more, I think, from just your own observations. And I haven't asked you that because, again, we don't sit around trying to crucify Nellie. We don't sit around trying to get you in trouble or trying to do to you the things that I'm sad that it seems like you want to do to us. When I had
you cool with Nellie.
Me too. I did. I thought Nellie, at the very least, respected the fact, even if she didn't want to say it for her own self, I thought that she was a kind enough woman to know that Sally deserves happiness. Now, she might think that, but at the same time, it appears that she thinks that Sally only deserves, and this is a powerful statement, and I mean it. It appears that she only thinks Nellie deserves the happiness that Jim and Jerry decide she should have. And that is very sad to me. Because otherwise, nothing should be told to them. Nothing should be told to them knowing the stunts and the games that these two overgrown, bratty, greedy babies play. I'm done ranting. Somebody else talk, please.
They're very selfish.
Yeah. Very, very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it truly made me sad. This was not something I wanted to be like, aha, Nelly. You know, no. Mm-mm.
That kind of disappoints me though with her.
Yeah, me too, Kimmy.
Well, I mean, like I said, even with not being, you know, even before I realized what was going on, I know for a fact she sprouted feathers.
She's what?
She sprouted feathers, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so that proves right there that even if she wasn't in our group, she is still tail-toting.
Yeah,
And I know that for a fact.
yeah. So, um, yeah,
Yeah.
makes me
Which,
sad.
which is not, it's not right. It's just
Yeah,
not.
because if you want to be fully on their side, then you go for it. Rebecca Big Red or whatever she is, that want to be nutritionist lady, fine, you go for it. You be their biggest fan. You've been their fan all of what, since April or something? I don't know, maybe longer, because Jerry buys stuff from you. Whatever your reason is. Can I just say that most nutritionists don't show a whole bunch of pre-made, pre-packaged, pre-processed food?
No kidding.
No.
I didn't see one thing that you said that you were hand making. Talk about lazy. I mean, what do you, the only thing that was not processed was those blueberries you showed at the end, which was worth it because you got up and walked up on Jerry when she was talking. And yes, I watched. I'll admit what I watch and what I don't. That was funny. It just was,
I
y'all.
just couldn't figure out why it took Rebecca that long to have Jerry on her channel.
Mm-hmm.
If she's all into this health and
Well, she seems to have really gotten involved more recently.
That's what I thought, that it's more.
Figure somebody's been reaching out to her and trying to communicate more frequently and pulling her in.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Great. You found yourself a friend, Wonder
need
how long it'll last.
Casey, which portal are you talking about? If you're talking about the Discord portal, no, he doesn't. If you're talking about her medical portal, yes, yeah, he does. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he said that a few times.
But no, I'm not talking about him having access to Discord. This is not Jim. I'm not talking about Jim at all.
Mm-hmm. I hope Sally takes Jim and Jerry off being able to. I do too. Maybe she will do that. I think Sally, like I said, is really smart, and she's wising up on passwords and all that stuff. I mean, she knows how evil it is to read things like, from what was her name, Debbie W. or whatever. All of a sudden, a brand new person who knows all about the Hensons, who the night of Jerry's rant, the live before she came over to your channel, Mona, where, she had people saying to her, these brand new people nobody's ever heard of, but they know everything about the Hensons, says, if that was my mom, I would hide her phone and, what was it, change the number. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you don't have a mom, Debbie W. I hope you don't, because what an evil daughter you are.
And that's elder abuse, no matter how you look at it.
Right. That's why I hope she doesn't have a mom. I don't know if I've ever said that about anybody, but I mean that. I hope you don't have a mom to do that to, or any elderly person. How evil. I mean, is it not enough that you're bleeding her dry? You got to decide that she can't have conversations or have a social outlet?
He started that crap again today. Talking about if he had his way, she wouldn't be talking to any of us.
Yeah. It's all about Jim and Jerry getting their way. Stunted toddlers. I mean, at what point did they not learn that life doesn't always go your way? That's part of adulting. Amy, I think Jerry ate 2 protein bars on Rebecca's live. That was uncomfortable. That was
good.
Yeah.
And I did find it funny that they used StreamYard.
Lenny, we don't discuss a lot of it because we respect Sally's privacy. And even though there's, people someone that acts like they care and is such a caring person, and she actively tries to give the two people who want Sally to feel as alone and isolated as possible while they bleed her dry monetarily. We try to respect her privacy and not say things. But I guess, Mona, the best update you could give would be what on Sally that you feel comfortable?
She's doing good. She's still looking.
Mm-hmm.
Still, she's still got her list. Still making calls. Still looking at places. So I wouldn't count her out. A lot of the stuff you hear, I think it's just him talking out of his neck. But we don't know. I mean, I kind of know what she's living in, but we really don't know what she's dealing with. And sometimes you have to do what you got to do to survive to get to the next point.
Right.
So, but she is good. I check on her every day.
So for people that are, they've seen the Jerry show where she wins every time and she never fails to bulldoze people into getting what she wants. If not, they're out of her life by choice or because she won't have them around. For people that here don't count her out, I'm not trying to get you to say more than you should.
I know. I mean, no, she's not, Jerry's not going to get her way.
Okay.
And
I know it's frustrating that it seems like it's going slow. I've seen people say it's going to get into winter. Sally doesn't like winter. She's just going to slow to a standstill. And then by next spring, who knows? I've seen those comments and that kind of thing. And I get you. I get that. It's not ideal for anybody in the cold weather and that kind of thing. But we're also not living there daily, oppressed and, being. So I think she may have more determination than we even know. And that truly isn't me trying to build her up into something that's impossible for her to make happen.
I don't think the weather will be an issue because I'm almost positive that she has a moving crew. So ultimately, all she has to do is sit in the new apartment and just point where the stuff needs to go.
Yeah.
It's not like she has to be out in the weather, so I don't think that's going to be an issue.
But a process like this, it's not something that goes fast.
You're welcome, Lynn. And like Rachel said, it kind of is like a bad divorce, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, they're not going to make it easy. We've seen that. They're fighting every step of the way, and they're trying to make it a completely different narrative, a different scenario. Somebody said today, it was so funny, said that, I don't remember who, I'm sorry, but they said Jim will still be talking about renovations the day that they're being put out of the house. Another
house.
Yeah. Another he said was that his mother would never put them out of the house. And it's like, Jim, what you are failing to see, and this is a very powerful and true statement. If you hear me say nothing else tonight, I would love for you to hear this. The most loving thing your mom can do is put you out of the house to learn to do for yourself. You are 53 years old. She will not live forever. She knows that you and your wife know nothing about living in the real world where you're not getting everything given to you. So that is, if I keep saying it, if she didn't want to move, if she wanted to live there and loved it, it would still be the most loving thing to do to you because you've got to learn. He won't listen to that part.
He said that his father wouldn't put them out of the house.
He said his mom today.
Yeah, his mom.
Yeah. I don't remember if that's around when I turned it off or not.
No, I guess I'm confused. Because I just believe his father wouldn't have let them in the house to begin.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have by everything that Jim has said about his dad. His dad would have never put up with 1 minute of this crap.
Yes, could not agree with that more. Why would he? This right here is the exact opposite of what a loving parent would put up with for two people who need to learn to be alone. And by that, they need to learn to be self-sufficient. This is not hate, Jim. It is love. To allow you to stay there and be handicapped thinking your mom will live forever and will provide for you forever is not love. That would be hate to allow it to continue.
Well, let's play what if, okay? And this is, so maybe the whoever's listening will understand this. What if somehow, some way, they are able to take over this mortgage from Sally, and Sally goes on? How long do you think it'll last before you can't make the payments, you can't pay for the things that are needed and whatnot, and then what? And the same would go as if they were to get the house, don't take this in a bad way, but I mean, due to Sally's, passing.
Right.
Let's say that he basically inherited the house, well, and that they allowed him to take it over and try and pay for it. How long would that last? And then what would you do? That's the other part to this. What would you do?
Right.
When the bank is knocking on the door and saying, we're foreclosing,
Right.
you've got this much time to get out. Are you going to say, no, we're not moving? Oh, I believe you are.
Mhm.
But what do you do? What do you do at that point? Has that ever crossed their minds that if they can't finagle their way through life off somebody else's money, what are they going to do? Apparently, that thought right there has never crossed either of their minds.
Mhm.
They believe that they're always going to be on this
Yes.
ride of, well, we'll make sure, if we can't afford it, this person will cover it, or that person, or we'll ask for somebody to give us this, or we'll take out another credit card, and, once that's all used up, well, we'll just default on it. I mean, what then? You've run out of options. I don't see you getting any more credit cards.
Me
I
either.
really don't. I mean, that you go and apply for whatever it is that you want to, and they're going to see that's going to come up at the top of the list on your credit report. It is going to be the first thing that it's like that red flag.
Yep.
It's going to be the first thing that any creditor sees when they pull your credit. So you aren't getting anything unless it's one of those, fly by night, buy here, pay here, whatever kind of things that, yeah, and we're going to charge 29.9% interest, on this POS that, you think that you need, but you don't. Well, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I mean, then just dig yourselves deeper. Then you'll run out of those options. Then what?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They've never thought it through. Realistically, let's put it
Amber.
that way. That's a key word. Realistically.
Yeah. Amber says he makes absolutely $0. He has absolutely nothing to his name. Who is going to pay for the mortgage, phone, lawn service? He is clueless. And Amber, you said that I saw that you also said that Sally should check to see if she has any equity in the home. I think that's what you said. She is planning to do that with a realtor, as far as I know. So she is going to do that. So that's great. Because she does need to know that. And that's why we all keep saying, we don't know what to tell you. Somebody might tell you to short sale. Somebody might tell you to whatever the advice might be. At the end of the day, it needs to be somebody who's the professional, who doesn't, and that's why we aren't haters. I said that the other night, because we will always say to her, Sally, what any good friend should say: go check with a professional, a financial advisor, somebody in your corner who will protect your money, protect your home, and tell you the best path forward for you, depending on, and you might be a couple of options. They might say, okay, well, you could do a short sale, but here's the cons, or that kind of thing. So maybe she'll have to make a decision between a couple different things. But yeah,
a realtor should legitimately be able to provide all that, actually, because number one, the realtor wants to protect their reputation as well.
Yes.
Because they want your business, and they want you to refer them. Tell your friends, bring business my way. I mean, that's their prime objective. There is keep those customers coming in. So they're really not going to just say what you want to hear, or whatever is to their benefit. Because if it turns out bad for you, are you going to give them a good recommendation? Well, no. You're
And
gonna,
reviews are devastating. You get
yes.
a bad review, that can be very devastating as a realtor.
I use reviews all the time for shopping, for all kinds of, just whatever. Do I want to go to this place, this restaurant? Do I want to, what are people saying about it? Well, was there hair in the food? I mean, whatever. But I use reviews all the time.
And think about how important it is for a house, because it's, yeah, we want to have a good meal, or I want to buy a really nice rug or a sofa. Those are a big deal. But my home, you better believe I want somebody who's going to protect my interests. I regret not doing that when we built this home. I did not research our realtor. I did not use the guy that my dad has used for so many of the different properties he's bought. I didn't go with him because I don't like the guy. I just don't like his attitude. My dad loves him. At the end of the day, that was who I needed in my corner, because he's known to fight for his clients. You know what I mean? He goes in and he does the stuff that my realtor sat there and didn't earn any, I didn't feel of it. I was the one who had to go in and fight. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what I was doing. I'm not a realtor against the builder. He just wasn't. My point is, that's where I wish I had the most important area, Finny, and I didn't do it. So at the end of the day, so what? Who cares if I don't like how he comes across on some things, if he has the skills and that kind of thing to be able to deliver what you should get in a home.
As long as he does you right. That's what it's about,
Yeah. So going forward, you better believe I'm going to use a guy who has proven to do the right thing over and over and over again, and to get the most, for his client that he can, to do the uncomfortable thing. That's what he's getting paid the commission for. I had a realtor who just didn't want to do anything that was uncomfortable like that. You know what I mean?
Get down.
So
You better get down.
So who needs to get down?
Rebel.
But you know what? As far as what's going to happen to them, I truly think that they may be headed to a hotel. And that's another thing that one of our friends looked up for us. And like I said earlier, she not only looked up a hotel, she looked up the cheapest one in Rolla. I hope that's okay to say too. I wish I had that one nearby, but I don't, to know what the rates were. But I think they were $79 a night, weren't they? Something around there.
That all could be avoided, though.
100%. Why would you pay that?
With it could be avoided. You don't. You think that a Section 8 apartment is just way too far below either one of you, and that you're better than living in one of those?
No.
Wait till you have to go to a motel.
Yep.
And be in that one room with that dog.
Yep.
And that's if any of these places will even accept that dog. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that with that hotel, Finny.
Well, not for anything in any of the scenarios listed, whether it be Section 8 housing, buying a house. Well, not necessarily buying a house, because you can do what you want. But let's say they were in RV park. Some RV parks don't allow pets.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things. That's another thing to factor in is, you limit your options when you do have animals. I know that.
Yeah,
there's a ton of places that say no pets allowed.
Right.
So then you're off my list.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of your pet. I mean, we're getting an RV, I told you, and you better believe we are avoiding the places that don't accept pets. That's just, we're not going to go there. So absolutely, that's right off. But, so I just got my answer, $77. So can somebody do the math on that? We're not even adding in taxes, but round up to 80 then. Do your math on 30 days. We'll just use a 30-day month. So 80 times 30. Tell me how the Hensons
$400.
How can they afford that? They can't.
They can afford just over a week.
Right.
Oh,
that's it, Hensons. And so that's why this stuff is important, because, when Mona was saying they can afford it, they can, but very short term. You know what I mean? So they can't afford to. Now, maybe if the Cancer Society gives them a hotel room, but I don't think that's indefinitely.
But then you can't pay for the storage shed where you shoved all your crap.
Amen.
You can't pay for your phones, which you're going to have to take on, because you're way too good to get those to get on the program that
Mhm.
Diane has suggested many a time.
Mhm.
That there is that and that bit of help that you could be taking advantage of, and that's the thing. Why doesn't she want to take advantage of something like that? There's no shame in it. Obviously, you don't have any shame if you're willing to be on the EBT program, so or go to food
Every other
banks and
handout.
go to food banks and collect food and things like that and ask for assistance with your utilities. Why not take advantage of the phone?
eBay,
Yeah.
Griff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
I
had to
mean,
add that in.
I just
No, and
don't.
Jan says, I
Just
doubt
wanted
the
to do
Rolla.
that.
Look
I
what
just
Jan
don't
says. I doubt the
understand
Rolla
that
homeless
logic.
shelter accepts dogs, Benny. We didn't even think of that.
What?
Jan pointed out, I doubt the Rolla homeless shelter accepts dogs.
Oh, I know they don't. I just know
Okay.
they don't.
Okay,
You
so
know?
look at this. Diane Williams says, I don't understand why Sally can't afford senior living. Jim keeps on saying. Well, what I would say to that, Mona, pipe in on that if you don't mind, or if you want to, if you're still on here. I'm walking around so I can't see. So I don't believe
I
that.
don't see Mona in
Okay,
with
she may not
us.
be on. But Diane Williams says, I don't understand why Sally can't afford senior living. Jim keeps saying, I would take with a big grain of salt anything that Jim keeps saying. You have to remember that the two of them want to have a narrative. Their narrative is Sally can't live alone unless she's ready to sign a mortgage. She can't. She can barely put on her pants. That's what they want everybody to think. She can't make sound decisions. She just has such just horrible dementia. Again, until they're ready for her to sign on the dotted line for a mortgage or a new van or whatever it is that they need. 3 acres, all that. She's good as gold when they want her for a cash cow. Okay, so her not being able to afford senior living, some places are too expensive. That's true. But isn't that true for most people that some places are too expensive? There's the really high end senior living or assisted living, and then there's the lower end. But also the nerve to make that statement, knowing that part of why he can't. Jim, I bet your mom could do a lot more with $50,000 that she just spent on you guys in the past year or so for pipe damage, avoidable pipe damage, and for yet more credit card debt. So to sit there and have the nerve to say that she can't afford it when you're part of the reason, and I say you're because you're Jerry at this point, you're Jerry, okay? And that's as insulting as it gets, but it's true. You defend her constantly in her horrific actions to your mother. Shame on you. I think your dad is so ashamed of you if he's looking down on you. And I know that probably hurts Sally to hear, but at what point do you stick up for her? So back to Diane, she can afford some things and she can afford some places. And Sally isn't looking for a lot. She really isn't. She's looking for a nice apartment that isn't big and a lot to care for. So she can afford that. She would love for it to have the option to have, assisted living down the line. But, maybe she can explore getting an aid. Maybe there's other things that the VA offers. I don't know. But we'll help her any way we can with exploring that. Or she seems to be helping herself. She has a great friend in Carla. But again, how shameful is it, Jim, that Carla, you talk about you're glad your mom has Carla. Why didn't you, somebody pointed this out, I can't take credit for it. Why didn't you jumpstart your mom's car for over a year? Do you don't know even how to do that? Why? She could have avoided the tow charge. I didn't even think of that. The other day when she needed her glasses, Carla had her husband at the ER on that day, I think it was. But anyway, he's had all these issues. She's the one who had to take your mom, I think it was. She's still, you can't find the time to stop playing World of Warcraft or whatever it is and to get off the sofa and to quit serving your beast. Seriously. What kind of son is that? It is shameful. It almost makes me cry. Show me how you.
Oh, but Joni, we don't know their whole lives and how much they do for her.
Oh yeah. Today it was. I took
We
2
only
meals.
know about 30 minutes of every day, or somewhere of a week or whatever it is. So we don't know. But those are what you just mentioned exactly of why couldn't you take her to get her glasses? Why couldn't you get her car started for her? Those type of things are exactly why we form the opinions that we do.
Right. because you didn't do it. You didn't move those 2 boxes after your mom fell over them. I don't care. I'm serious. I know you've got a bad back, Jim. You've got a back of a man who has a very big belly, even though you say, once again, you're just defying reality, acting like it's not true, because your wife doesn't want to go on a diet. So she tells you you're skinny and you don't need to lose weight, okay? But regardless, you're not going to hurt your back if you figure out how to move those boxes. You could have moved them with your legs, even if they're really heavy. You could have figured out a way to push those boxes out of the way. But instead, you left them there knowing she did fall over them.
Well, I got a question. How'd they get them there in the first place?
Right. How did they just miraculously land there? But again, that's the kind of thing. Talk about selfish. Mom, you can fall over those all you want. I just can't do them. I've got a bad back. You can go without glasses all you want. I can't be bothered. And as far as your car, no, pay a tow charge. So what? I can't be bothered. I'm too busy. He loves to say all the things we've got going on around here. What? I know she is oppressive to live with, Jerry, that she every 5 minutes is calling you. But again, I've seen you do it before where you walk away from her mad. You could say to her, you know what? You're just going to have to be pissed and get your own whatever it is for the next 30 minutes. I'm taking mom to get her glasses. Get over yourself. That takes 5 minutes to say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do, and you would have done something kind for your mom. But instead you didn't, and you make everybody the bad guy for it.
That's a good line right there. Get over yourself.
Get over yourself.
You know, I mean, seriously, when it comes to exactly who we're talking about, get over yourselves. I guess it could be applied to us as well. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, with the opinions that we give. Oh well.
Yeah, and I love what what Jan says. I don't know what Jerry says. Jerry and Jim might actually enjoy an apartment building. They might be able to make some friends, get involved with their community. Absolutely. That might be, though. Hold on.
There's no shame in it, though. I mean, I wouldn't say anything derogatory or anything about if they do have to end up moving into a Section 8. There's no shame in it. So, but the thing is, I mean, actually, you could at least take some pride in that, you know, this is what you're able to do. This is all you can do, but you're doing it and you're doing it on your own. There's some pride to be had in that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no shame in it. And I don't see why it's so far beneath them that they can't live in that type of a situation. And that's really all they have the option for right now. That might not be an option once, you know, the doors are slamming behind them and their shit's on the street. Sorry.
Yeah, and that is actually what they do. I mean, again, I keep saying, watch an eviction process. That is what happens. And it's, you know, I mean, and I think at the bottom line, Penny, they are counting on their mom not doing that. I mean, he said it today.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to push it all the way.
Yeah, he said it today. He looked right at the camera and said, my mom won't do that. I think he said, you don't know my mom. She won't do that. I think he's counting on that.
Maybe we don't. Maybe it won't happen.
Yeah.
But in any scenario, is either
she won't live forever. I mean, exactly. I hate to be morbid.
I wasn't going to say, yeah, I didn't want to say
right.
that, but
I said it.
But it's an absolute possibility.
Well, it's reality. No one lives forever.
Yeah.
And people that love each other, especially when they have a situation, they plan for things. It's a loving thing to get a will. It's a loving thing to plan out, you know, your funeral. It's a loving thing to make sure that your people that you leave behind don't have let's see, two or three rooms full of Dollar Tree rat infested horde to go through when you knock off when you die. I mean, I know that sounds crude to you guys, but that's just the truth.
No, not really.
It's loving to do those things for your spouse. It's not loving to want to leave Jim behind, not knowing how to do things. He needs to know now how to take care of a checkbook, or it's not really a checkbook anymore, but you guys know what I mean. He needs to know how to do these things, but you can't allow him to do that because you have to keep total control over everything. I mean, he should have never allowed that, to where it used to call me when he would say, well, Jerry lets me have a snack. I'm like, you were the one out working. She lets you have a snack. She tells you if you can drink Mountain Thunder or if you can drink Mountain Dew. Oh, for heaven's sake. I mean, that wouldn't last 1 minute around me. I'd be like, You're out of your gourd. This isn't going to happen. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't drink. I've been the one out working. What? That's insane. But that's how tight her hold is on him. And that's why I always remind myself of that when I'm like, God, please, why do you continue to see the world the way she wants you to see it? Because she's got him that entitled and she's got him that angry at everybody. You know what I mean? He believes we owe him. He believes that he deserves to be paid from our taxpayer dollars for any sort of handout that he wants. And that's a shame because at the end of the day, Jim isn't disabled in my mind. He really isn't. His mental issues, he should have been going to somebody monthly for years now. That would have been the best plan or the best chance I believe that he would have had. And now he gets on YouTube and talks about my back's 95% better. I think Diane was the one that pointed that out. Well, you better believe.
95% better?
Yeah, he said something about it was 95% better. And, and I can work and I can this and I can that.
Why is shit getting done? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. But, and these disability people, there is somebody whose job will be at the hearing when he finally gets one, which will be at least a year to 2 from now. No matter what, unless some sort of miraculous unicorn miracle occurs, and never say never with Greedy Jerry. But unless something like that happens, it will be a year to 2 years to maybe even 3 from now. And he's going to bring in no income until then. They can't even afford a doghouse. Well, they can. They can afford a really small RV that's used, or like Crack and Queen's putting in a shed in her backyard that cost almost that much. Fine, you were gonna put Sally in one. Get yourself that plastic shed. Now I think hers is nicer than that. It's not, but my point. But where are you gonna put it then? What land are you putting it on? So these are all things that, fine, if you can afford the shed, can you afford the land it's on? And then can you afford the taxes on that land? It's just not that simple. I mean, even people who have their home paid off, they still have to pay for taxes. I mean, it's still not
utilities and life in general.
It's not that they have a completely free existence. Life is still expensive, more so than ever before. I mean, if I were Sally, and I'm so thankful that I'm not, if I were Sally, I would be so, and I'm sure she is terrified for Jim because he's so completely up Jerry's butt, and so angry about everything that I don't know that she can get through to him anymore. And it truly is the most loving thing. I would hate to say that to her if she really wanted to stay there. I would still be like, you've got to do something. You either have to leave, or if you want to help him. And I just mean him, because we know that Jerry is Jerry, and she knows what Jerry is. But I would still be like, do you want the most loving thing to do? Then you either need to leave or you need to kick them out. One of the two. They got to get out and they have to learn to live for themselves. Otherwise, you're going to be worried until the day that you die. And you can know for sure when you do die that you haven't taught him to live by himself. And y'all know that sounds harsh, but it's just, ask Diane the day she did the tough love to her son. She didn't know if she'd ever hear from him again. But that's what he needed. And now look what he's doing. He's getting promotions. He is, saving for a house. All the hard stuff. You know what I mean?
He's a productive part of society, that's for sure.
Yeah. So it just, and for them to be able to stay together, that's even more, for both he and Tasha to stay together and have this great marriage and raise the kids and all that. And I strongly believe that's because both of them had someone like Diane who they could learn from, who showed them tough love. I can't imagine being that, I do want to ask you about this. Anybody that's listening here, who would have paid for the plumbing if Sally wasn't there, or if Jim and Jerry had that house by themselves? What would they have done?
That's a great question.
What would you have done? That is such a good question. Pam Sabaro asked it, and then Rena Pruitt also said, who would have paid?
If they were by themselves?
Mm-hmm.
They would have definitely just used the other bathroom until it went bad. But I mean, did it affect the whole?
I don't know that question.
Did it affect, like? Gosh, help me out here. Like the whole plumbing system throughout the house, or
Entire,
or just that one side with that one bathroom.
I don't know. Good question.
I
Pam
don't know.
Pam says they would still be shitting in a bucket.
Well, yeah, there's always that option, I guess. But
Yeah. And a good point on a shed. A shed needs insulation, plumbing, power, gas, lights, fireplace, furniture, flooring, foundation, permits, roofing, appliances, paint, railing, baseboard, kitchen, cabinets. He hasn't a clue. I mean, that $14,000, I would truly love to see what somebody could come up with that they can buy in Rolla. I'll look today. Since I love looking at RVs, and I've got like it narrowed down to 2 or 3 kinds now for us, and we're still just, looking at different options. And I'm glad we didn't buy last year, because I just found one I think we might like more, especially because of the kitchen in it, if I'm going to do videos for cooking on the go. And, I'm like, oh my gosh, so sometimes things happen for a reason. I was like, wow, this is truly a working kitchen where I could do a lot of, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be hard to do a video, but man, I'll look and see what they could get for $14,000, but it doesn't solve that Jim can't drive it. It doesn't solve that they don't have something to tow it, depending on what type it is. It doesn't solve that Jerry can't get in it, can't move around in it. It doesn't solve that they still have to have money of where to put it. So, Finny,
did anyone else answer that question that you just posed?
Let's see. The one about the plumbing?
Yeah. What would they do?
Lenny says they would never have been able to buy that house. Okay, that's not about that, though. Whoa, Brenda, we had to pay $300 for our cat and $30 extra a month on our rent. Where is that? Just in rent in general?
Oh, a $300 deposit to have a pet and $30 a month extra for that's general. That's the way it is these days.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
You pay pet rent, yes.
That's pet rent? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pet rent.
So I remember back in the day there was a deposit if you're done, you know what I mean? Like I always had a pet, even when I had an apartment like in college and different stuff. But you got your deposit back if your pet didn't, you know what I mean? Which I always got the deposit back. So now there's a rent for pets. Wow.
Yeah. There's a charge monthly for pets.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cozy said they'd use commodes.
Oh, well, I don't know. His and her commode, matching pairs, and Jim would clean both of them, I'm sure.
Well,
wow.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, what would they do? Because eventually everything would back up. Like the sinks, all the plumbing.
Hoarding shows, it's scary, in the hoarding shows when they don't have like working water.
Oh.
Running water and pipes and stuff. Like
it's horrific. They just go in the.
It's like third world stuff. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. And so they might think it was doable for a little bit, but it would be pretty terrifying, I think. Yeah. Cozy, I didn't know that about the rent, that you paid that for a dog. Wow. So what if you have multiple dogs? So you paying that for each dog or each animal?
Usually, yeah.
So I have, okay, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So oh my word. So for 3 dogs, you'd be paying $900 just for animals?
No, honey. That it's a deposit.
Oh, okay.
We had to pay $300 for our cat, and that was the deposit. What she was talking about, it's a deposit. It's a pet deposit. I'm not 100% sure if that is $300 for like if you had 1 animal or 2. Okay. And then the $30 extra a month in rent, it's every month you get charged what's called pet rent. And I'm not sure if that is for more than just 1 animal or 2 or whatever. I don't know.
Wow.
How they exactly calculate that. I know that where I'm at, I actually do pay pet rent. Mm-hmm. It's $25 a month, but I do have the 3, and that's what's allowable.
Okay, so it's $25 for all 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank goodness.
So it might just depend on the landlord.
Right. I guess they can decide if,
And the deposit wasn't nearly as astronomical. It was $150 for the pet deposit.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I do understand, like when my brother-in-law was, when he got into that whole thinking he wanted to rent houses and bought like 2 or 3 different small homes too. I mean, I saw in at least 2 of them what these people allowed their dogs to do to the place. One of them, it was questionable if it was human, and it was horrific. I'm talking like floorboards had to be replaced. It was terrible. It
Mhm.
wasn't just, carpet had to be pulled up. It was terrible. So I get that. I mean, I don't know how $300 would have replaced it. You know what I mean? A couple of these were older homes where it was the old historic wood floors just could not be resanded. They were just too damaged. And it was such a,
Actually, anybody will tell you that. I've been watching some shows, these cleaners and stuff, well, videos,
Mhm.
and when they go in and like people have allowed their pets to in like a hoarding type, really bad unclean situation. They've allowed their pets to, urinate and defecate on the floors or carpets or whatnot, and like through carpet, it seeps through the carpet and the padding underneath to,
right, right.
to the floor that's underneath, or the subflooring or whatever they call it, to where it goes all the way down, and there's actually no way to ever get that out other than to replace it all.
Oh my
And
God.
that is really, I mean, it's
Yeah.
almost like, why bother? Let's just tear the whole place down. I'm not
Well,
being,
that's what I'm saying. Like a $300 deposit wouldn't pay for that. So, and in some ways, I do get why landlords do charge it. But wow, I mean, for that kind of damage, I didn't know too that people said that. Arlene told us that, and I think somebody else told us that they do come in and inspect with Section 8. So I bet you didn't like that. I don't know how often. But certainly, she wouldn't want somebody coming in and let's say that she lets the craft room, if she has a room there, let's say they somehow get a 2-bedroom place. And one of the rooms, of course, it won't be Jim's. It'll be hers, and it'll be a room she won't use, but she won't care about that. You know what I mean? She'll use it. She claim it or hers. And all of the rat infested stuff goes in there. And I don't know if they travel with you or what, but let's say that they're in, I mean, she wouldn't want a landlord to come in and see that because I don't know what they do, but I would assume they'd be like, look, you are going to be evicted if you don't clean all of this out. All of this must be gone. I mean, I would assume they would, if it were me, I'd be like, look, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not having this place riddled with rodents. You are going to pay this bill. I mean, that's what I would do. I'd hand them a bill for having, an exterminator come in and then threaten them to have to leave because, if they're not, I would think they would repeat the same behavior. So I'm sure she wouldn't want that. It's very different with Sally, who they're just like, oh, mom, don't worry about it. All you did was hear chewing in the walls. Oh
Cozy's
my God.
right. Cozy's right with this statement. So, yeah, you've got that deposit, and yeah, there's the great possibility that deposit isn't going to cover all the damages if they are damages done. And so, when you move out, if you don't have the place in basically back to the same condition as you moved into it in, they're going to keep your deposits. And then if there's damages and all these things they have to repair, guess who gets the bill?
Wow.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. Yeah, you get the wonderful experience of having to give that place even more money because you wrecked it.
Right. And think of how different right there. If you hear anything tonight, think of how different that is than how she has things right now. Right now, the way she has things, she has her mom or her, she calls her mom, Jim's mom, steps in and pays for all of it every single time. That's very different. Of course, she doesn't want to move because she knows she's not going to be compliant. She's not compliant to anybody. She makes the rules, and if she can't make the rules, she just talks over to you. All, you know what I'm trying to say? She talks over you until you give in or just walk away. That's her MO. She won't be able to do that with a landlord. I think they'd kick her out just for driving them nuts for that reason alone because she doesn't listen.
Well, I've got a question, and anybody that's had any kind of experience with any of this can maybe tell me. Um, the one of the things that's been mentioned is the smell of their house. And I guess it's everywhere, and it's not just the smell of smoke; it's the smell of funk, of body odor, of other, of animal, of dog, of human waste. Let's just put it that way. There's a smell in that house. Okay. Does a realtor factor that in when they come in and evaluate your home? I don't know. I've never had that experience. So if anybody knows when it, I mean, of course they evaluate everything visually and
Mhm.
by square footage and amenities and, upgrades and anything to do like that. Of course they do that. But would a realtor, if they walked into your home and there was a terrible smell, would they base that into what you're going to get out of it or what you can sell it for? I mean, does that factor in anywhere in
I
that?
would love
That
to know.
the home stinks. I mean, how do you sell it? How do you show it? How do you do any of those things? Do you warn the clients that are actually, interested in the property? Well, I got to tell you, the place has a real bad odor to it. I mean,
Right.
what do you do as a realtor?
I
I'm
don't know. I
curious.
know. Yeah,
Anybody that knows
please
anything
tell
about
us.
that, let us know because I'm curious. I
Me
have no
too.
clue.
I would love to know as well. I know my friend that was a realtor that died, Mike's wife. She was a fantastic realtor, and she did tell me one time where she had to tell a couple that their home smelled musty and that they were going to have it inspected for mold and then like cleaning and stuff like that. And she was like, I'm still when we had so she had both of those things done. I think they did find some mold, but this wasn't animal smells, but still, they had to make sure they had this house is free of mold. But she said even with a deep cleaning, I will never forget her saying this, even with a deep cleaning, even with the house, rectified of any mold issue, because it wasn't a big one. I think it was found like in the basement, a little area or something like that. She said, I'm still, when I walk in, especially the day she told me they had a, what do you call it? An open house. It was a rainy day. And I don't know what it was about a rainy day, but she was like, I walk in and I'm like, God, I can still smell
Because it makes it more damp and musty.
yeah. And she was
The
like, I still
humidity,
smell it.
it just amplifies that
Yeah.
kind of musty, dank smell that,
Right.
especially like in a basement,
Mhm.
which is
Right.
kind of, I'm not trying to brush that aside, but in a basement, you're going to find that usually that's the most predominant place that you get that
Yes.
kind of musty odor, is down in a basement.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a what do you call it down there? A dehumidifier. It runs
Yeah.
all the time in the summer. We don't play
Yeah.
around with that because we are just not allowing it to happen. It's too
Yeah.
scary. And it's way too damaging to a home. And after she told me that about that smell, I was like, we can't even allow it to even start because I remember saying it wasn't even a big area, but it just reactivates it, that rainy smell.
Sure.
And part of why she told me about that, she said, because she has she doesn't anymore. She is no longer with us, but she had such a great reputation. And, we talked about realtors, their reputation is everything. And so she said, this is one where I've told them, look, let's put some oranges and some apples and some cinnamon on the stove and make basically a nice smelling potpourri.
The potpourri pot. Yeah.
Yeah, potpourri pot. Let's put some cookies in the oven. Those are just some things that realtors do to make a house smell homey and that kind of thing. But she said, I got to tell you, I'm still telling people there's a bit of a smell. We're dealing with it. She said, because I am not going to chance one of these people being a future client and being upset with me that I didn't let them know that. And she said, I hope it doesn't cost me the sale of the house. And we'll never know because she died like 2 months after that. And so I don't know who ended up with the sale of that house. But I loved how honest she was. You know what I mean? Because she was like, I would be so upset if I came to this home and she was like, and I, because she wasn't just trying to mask it.
Well, I mean, their reputation's on the line, but on the other side to that, somebody is got to take on that house other than if you're going to sell it yourself. I mean, because you can do that, put a house up on the market, for sale by owner, but and then you have to, of course, list everything that's wrong, and then of course the obvious. If you have somebody coming to look and they notice the smell, then that's the obvious, and they can definitely just turn and run. But somebody out there has got to, be willing to list it. So I don't know how any of all that, when it comes to something like that, works. I've never come across.
Part of her point was that, she was like, I have this clear. It says the house is clear of mold. So it says that it's eligible, it's clean. I've had a professional cleaner and I now have this certificate saying that there's no mold. And yet
I still smell it. And she said, so if I were to buy this home, I would feel swindled, because even if it were to get inspected, she's got this professional thing saying. And so I remember that Todd told me, he was like, I bet you there was still some mold they couldn't find somewhere or something. We'll never know. Who knows? But she just didn't want somebody, because they do live by their reputation. She didn't want somebody to buy it and then be like, well, great. I smelled that. Yeah, I still smelled this. So Lenny says we had to have a dehumidifier in our basement too. No windows down there. It was musty. It's almost as big as the furnace. Runs all the time. It works through the furnace, etc. Yeah, ours is a separate one. So you can move it around or whatever. But we take it very, very seriously, because there was mold in the place that we rented before we decided where we wanted to live when we first moved to the Atlanta suburbs. We've always lived really far outside of Atlanta. But I will never forget, one day we came home. We'd been renting this place. We went down into the basement and to get suitcases to go on a trip. And there was mold on everything down there. And it was just stuff that we, were storing down there. But we had to throw this stuff out, even though we had renter's insurance. It was the same thing, Finny, where we could still smell it, even after it had been cleaned.
It doesn't matter. It just permeates stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had it happen to a towel and you wash it and, you use whatever agents that you can to try and remove that and everything. Yep. And then next time, even after you dry it and everything, it might smell. Next time you go to pull it out, from your cabinet or whatever, it's like, oh, wait, and now that from that towel, it's permeated into others. It's just something you can't get rid of. I guess that's partially why it's just so bad and dangerous and everything, because those spores are still there.
Right. Absolutely. And that's why, my friend was honest. She didn't want to ruin her reputation. And Pickleball says, with all that, I'd wonder what they're trying to cover up. I'm with you. I'd be like, wait a minute. What do you, it just smells way too.
Wow. Well, they're right at the moment. They're not trying to cover up anything because they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. So Brenda says, this really smells good. Put cinnamon on a piece of aluminum and oven smells so good. I love doing anything like that, especially, in the fall and stuff, having some really good Christmassy and fall scents and that kind of thing. But I do it in the spring and summer now too, with like lime and citrusy scents. It's so nice for your house to smell good. I can't imagine being, it's hard enough and impressive enough, the life that Sally lives. Can you imagine being her?
The poopery pot on the stove is really awesome because it can actually, kind of permeate through the whole house. That smell of oranges and the cinnamon or cloves, yes. whatever it is that you like. And you can even drop in some essential oils in that simmering pot on a stove if you don't have like one of those little oh gosh, help me out. But those things, the
little
room atomizers or whatever they're called.
So I was thinking about the oil.
Diffusers. That's the word. If you don't have one of those, you can just use your stove. It's the same effect, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. I mean, like I said, I love those. So Hippie Mama says simmer pots are my fave. We love them. We really do. Yeah. I love a diffuser with different like coconut and citrus scents for, the summer and that kind of thing. I think of it more towards fall, but now that I've started doing it for spring and, for summer, I love them because it just come in and it smells tropical and it's not overpowering.
Or but even lemon. Lemon's a wonderful fresh scent.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Citrus is something year round. Yeah, there's no season for lemon. Not for my taste. I love lemon all the time. So, yeah, Rena, you're right. A mold can get in the sheetrock if it's not replaced. It's still there, and that's actually what my husband thought might have been the case because they had like a finished basement or a finished like room above the garage, and there was a little room behind it. He was, because we actually toured this house, we thought it was very nice, and I did smell it as well, and my sense of smell isn't as strong as his, but I can't imagine for somebody a really strong sense of smell. If you're coming into the Henson house and you're wanting to put it on the market, you do have to think of those things. So I would love if anybody would tell us what Finny said, how do they deal with that? Because I've never heard what they deal. I mean, I would assume as a realtor, you have to be honest and frank and tell them, we're going to have to.
And I would do it up front.
Yeah.
Before I would take them to view the house, I would, if I was a realtor, I would say, there is an odor about this place, and I'm not trying to to put out any fear out there or any doubt about
Mm-hmm.
Sally being able to sell her house. I am sure she can, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain amount of damage that's been done,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the unfortunate truth.
I'll never forget a bag I bought once. I got it from thrift store, and I was so excited. What was that brand? Kimmy loves it. It's a kid's brand, a little girl's brand. Their stuff is really Matilda Jane. It was a Matilda Jane diaper bag, and I didn't care it was a diaper bag. I love the floral on it. I still love it. I use it as a dog bag some of the time now and that kind of thing. But you guys, I got it, and I was getting some other things, and I was in a hurry that day, and I saw it, and I was like, this is a joke. What? Matilda Jane? It's brand new. I mean, it had the tags on it and everything inside it, and so I could tell it had been used because of what I'm going to tell you now. It smelled so much of urine. So what had happened, I guarantee somebody had let a diaper, like a wet diaper, stay in the bag.
Oh, Lord.
Over time. So I get it home and I'm like,
Joni?
oh, sorry. Anyway, excellent. Sorry. Yeah. The idea of it just took me out again. But y'all, I thought I was going to have to chuck this bag. I didn't want to put it in my washing machine. I tried washing it out in the yard. I tried all sorts of stuff. I didn't want to use bleach and it ruined it. So I tried everything off Pinterest to do. And y'all, I can't even tell you which thing finally took care of it because I was just about to chuck it. And I only tried like 5 or 6 different things, but still I loved the bag so much. And finally, something I did, it was one of the Pinterest options, took care of the smell. But it was just so oppressive that on the very last thing that I was going to try, I thought I had gotten it gone, Penny. And I'll never forget. I thought, oh, it smells good now. Yay. And so I remember I took our dogs with us, and where did we go? And I was going to use it as a dog bag. So I put their leashes and a couple of their different things in it. And I get in the car and we go somewhere and we go out to the car, putting our stuff in the hotel, and it's raining. So again, with the rain, I don't know if that was it or what, but I go to get the bag and I'm like, oh, I still smell it.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah,
I was like,
you think you got it gone, then
I think it was gone. And it was, and my husband's nose is so strong. So he was like, oh, what? Oh, I still smell it. And I was like, honey, it was way worse than that. So I was like, all right, I'm chucking it and throwing it in the trash. And I remember sitting in the hotel that night and I went to Pinterest again and I was like, let me look one more time. And so we put it like in a bag. We triple bagged it and put it in the trunk because he was like, throw that thing out. It's not staying in my truck. So triple bagged it, put it in the trunk. And I thought, well, not in the trunk, in the back of wherever. He's got like a tool thing on the back of it. You know what I mean? Put it in that. So we get home and I was like, I'm going to try this Pinterest thing. And now I wish I could remember which one it was because now it passes all the tests. It's completely neutralized. I think what it might have been was that industrial strength stuff that we bought again when we got a new puppy. And it's basically a urine.
It's got enzymes in it. Yes. Yeah, yes. I have some.
In fact, I've got it in my laundry room. And you guys, that might be what they need a lot of there. I don't know how big the issue is with Oreo or not. But
well, actually, I'm checking out comments and Hippie Mama, I love this because I do this also. I have candles, oil diffusers, wax melts, and often do simmer pots. Their house smells like a mix of smoke, mold, dog, and mustiness, if that makes sense. And yes, absolutely, I get. And the mustiness comes from not opening those windows.
Yeah, never having
getting some air really going through there because that would actually help solve a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, but yeah, I do most of the same. Oil diffusers, not so much, but I'm the huge fan of the candles, wax melts, and then I also do incense. So.
Well, so what it was, you guys, it's called Nature's Miracle. I just went and looked at it in the laundry room.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. It's got those enzymes in it. And I'm almost positive that it was using that and something else finally did I washed it with that and had to do it like 2 or 3 times. And the bag looks brand new and it smells completely normal now. And you know what I mean? I've tried it in the rain. I've tried it closed up in a room, all those things where you might think it's better, but it's not. So maybe that's something where a professional cleaner might have access to those enzymes. I don't know.
Well, I know it's just, you know, just airing things out is a huge way to, you know, help eliminate some of the smells. But well, who knows? I mean, I'm not trying to discourage Sally in any way whatsoever. It's just, there. Not only is the issue with trying to get them to understand that it's time to move, it's time to do for yourselves. It is not only that is an issue, but also the issues that she's going to face with even getting this place in the condition it needs to be to sell it. I mean, that's a large task in itself, and it would definitely be easier if they weren't there to make those things happen versus trying to work around all their stuff. So
No, totally agree. Yeah. I'm telling everybody, squirrels should always be for me with my ADHD. Seriously, it should. That should be my word. I know Jim says it all the time too, but I'm so glad that you weighed in, Hippie Mama, because, we were curious. Because lots of people do smoke in their houses, I don't know how they clean that, but I do know that, like, my bonus mom and my dad bought a
you have to wash down and all the walls and whatnot, and if there's carpet, you have to have the carpet cleaning, and of course you wash the floors and whatnot. And a lot of times one of the things that will help cover it is paint. But this is after the thorough washing and everything too. So I've been in houses where that's happened, and had to try and get rid of it.
My parents were going to return an expedition that they bought that my dad couldn't smell it anymore after they had it professionally cleaned like twice, but my bonus mom still could whenever the air would come on, and it might have been during rain and that kind of
vents, snow in the vents.
Yeah, it would come through the vents, and she still would smell it. And finally they took it back in the third time, and they said, look, if this doesn't fix it, we are returning this. And I've never returned a vehicle. I don't even know how you do that. But something they did that last time was able to fix the issue. But yeah, she was like, I still just smell it and I can't do it. She can't do any smoke, you know what I mean? Gives her migraine and that kind of thing. So yeah, Cozy brings up a good point. Smoke leaves a yellow mask on the walls. I never thought about that.
Oh, it's the tar from the cigarette.
Is that what it is?
Leaves. Oh. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's almost like an oil that it leaves that on the walls and the ceiling and permeates into furniture and pretty much everything that you have in your house. It's unfortunate. It's like, yeah, don't smoke in the house if you don't, do it if you don't care. But I mean, eventually, at some point, sometime, somebody else is probably going to want to live there. So.
Absolutely, yeah. What do you think about the energy thing that people are talking about in the chat? You know a good bit about that. What do you think?
Energy, where are we talking
about energy, where people feel like they're in an oppressive situation. Like, I feel really bad for Sally, the situation she's in. As far as getting away from that energy and that kind of thing, or how to deal with it. One of the things we've been trying to do for Sally is keep her up.
I think that once she breaks free, she's gonna, but right now, the energy from this whole situation has really amped up. I mean, because you basically got those opposing sides of this person wants to move on in a productive way, and then you've got the opposing side that, no, we're not doing it. No, we're going to do this and that, anything that we possibly can to thwart this from happening. So that's part of it. It's just such a rash mix of these two, pretty much these forces that are battling each other. And right now, I hate to say it, but the predominant one that's coming out and being presented is the negative energy of this whole situation.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the way I see it. I mean, if you're talking in an overall sense of, negativity, that people are feeling negativity in the way of the world, well, yeah, that too. It's all around us. It's things are not that bright and shiny in the world anymore. So there's that too. But
do you think that that
energy is affecting our group, meaning all the subs as well, because I kind of feel like there's something to this, that we are all of a sudden doing something that's good. Because before, we would joke, and, we really didn't like how Jerry treated Jim, and we didn't like how she treated Sally, but it wasn't
No, but
as,
there wasn't this mission in place. I mean, we could say whatever shit that we wanted to about, what we didn't like and what they, and oh, look what she's done now, and look at, and he's just babbling. You could say all that and whatnot, but now there's become this big common interest of, trying to actually help someone. And the one that's trying that we're all trying to help is Jim's mother, so that I want to make this clear. It's not necessarily because we don't like Jim and Jerry, because straight up I don't.
right.
But that's not the point of it. It's because you've used and abused your privileges of living with your parent for far too long, and you need to get out on your own and do something with your lives. That's the bottom line. But also, it's the mission being that Sally is entitled to have some happiness in her life in the rest of the time that she has remaining. Okay, that's what it's about now. And since it's become about that, that's where I feel like the energy has shifted.
Right.
Because we're trying to really do something productive. And yes, we have been literally interacting. Okay. And as Jim has said, and actually Jerry has said it too, you've crossed the line, you've stepped into our lives. Well, number one, I'm not the one that's putting my life out there for the whole world to see and telling them all these things that we make our opinions, that based on. I'm not the one doing that. You are.
Yes.
If you don't want people to know, if you don't want people to make assumptions or form opinions or any of that kind of thing, don't do it. Then there won't be nothing to talk about now, will there? But the mission is going to stay the same. We want to help Sally. We want to help Sally in whatever way we can. And this negative energy and presence and everything, a lot of it is coming from Jerry. And yes, I think it's the trickle down effect where it's being, put out there to all of us that are involved, whether you're just a casual watcher or that you've really made comments or invested yourself in this in any way, shape, or form, that now, you're caught up in it too. And this is where it's based from and what's happening. And
but I'm glad we're mentioning that, because I think we've noticed it, and we just really wanted to kind of remind everybody to,
don't snipe at each other, please.
Right.
Please
and step away.
That, because I tell you what, that's their greatest wish.
Yes.
If they can break us all up,
Mm-hmm.
if they can get us to pit each other against each other, then they're going to consider that as a win, which really there's no winning or losing in this. But I'm just saying that, if we're not as all together as this strong force,
that's it.
And they divide us and that kind of thing, or if they can somehow, which I can't rule this out, but they can somehow separate Sally from us, then they're going to say, they've got the victory there, that now we've done it and you don't have any more say so, and you can't do anything. And that, because that's the mentality there.
No, I get it. Yeah. That's one thing we wanted to make sure, everybody knows, is that we're not going to allow any sort of fighting to break up our group. We're just not. We're going to have differences of opinion. Yes. But that's always happened. That's normal with any friends and that kind of thing. So we're not going to allow that to happen. So I agree with you totally, Finny. We're not going to snipe. We're not going to.
There might be some differences of opinion, but it's not a bad thing, because it actually gives you a perspective of another point of view. So it's not really a bad thing to have those differences, or to make what your thoughts are known of, well, I don't see that this is going to happen. It might come off somewhat negative to someone else, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, but please don't attack each other over it. Please just try and view everything as objectively as you can with an open mind. You know that people see this, all people see this differently. Of course the trolls are going to keep coming with the, you're all a bunch of, nosy old hags, and you just need to mind your business, and why are you attacking this person that has cancer, and yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you upholding her? That's my question. Why are you upholding everything that this person has shown you?
Yeah.
Unless you're just like her and think that it's a great way of life and to go about life, and that it's okay to do these things. It must be. That's the only thing I can think of, is they're all just like her.
Well, yeah, no, I totally agree. And that was one thing I'm glad we said before everybody goes, is we just wanted to remind you guys, because I know Kimmy has stuff she's got to do tomorrow and stuff. I think Mona tried to come back. We didn't hear her or something or whatever, because we really wanted to talk to Mona one more time.
I haven't seen her. She hasn't tried to get back in. I haven't seen her backstage or anything. I've been watching.
Oh, okay. I thought she said I'm backstage or something. So, but I'm so glad that we went over that about everybody, about not fighting and stuff. I'm so thankful that we have such a great group where people aren't doing that. And just, if any of that oppressive energy is starting to get to you, because it really kind of is a fight of good and evil now, you guys, of what's going on. I don't say that to joke around or for hyperbole or any kind of shock effect. That's truly what I feel is going on now. I mean, it's like, this is a dark, oppressive thing where they want to keep, bleeding her dry and keep her there until they just use her up for everything there is. Jim may not realize that's what he's doing, but that's what he's actively helping do. So because of that, I think we've just felt some darkness. I don't know. You guys may think that's crazy, but just step away for a day or so if you need to from Discover Discord.
Or like even them. I didn't watch today.
Yeah, don't watch them.
I knew she wasn't on, but I didn't. I was just like, yeah, I think I'll pass.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. So take those breaks, you guys. Yeah, and Kimmy, thank you for joining. Or not joining, hosting instead of making me do it, making somebody else do it. I can't wait for you to do more.
I just want to say one more thing regarding all that and the negativity and the whole situation with this whole thing that's going on, and trying to help Sally. And that's just kind of keep in mind, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Great point. I love that one. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. And I loved what Lisa said. The last thing I'd like to say is what Lisa said up here. She said, at the end of the day, where is it? That Sally would have to want to get out more than she want. Oh, here it is. I hate that Sally is still in it, but she has to want to get out more than she feels bad for Jim. And that's so true. It really is. So, and I love that you're telling her to keep protecting herself, because that's what we really want for Lisa, is to, protect herself as well.
Lisa knows what to do.
Yeah, she's a smart cook.
And Lisa's doing it. I'm pretty much 99.9% certain of Lisa knows how to kind of rid herself of all the bad energy and everything.
And Dee had such great gifts, you guys. Yeah, Kimmy, she did. She had such great gifts.
I know you do.
They're awesome. Yeah. So hopefully we can still get Queen to do hers. I don't know when that will be, but hopefully. And then I know Mona has so many that she may need to do a mini series or something. I don't know. I'm serious. I'm not kidding around.
Mini series.
Yeah, I mean a mini series, and it might be entitled "Don't Let This Happen to You." Don't let TEMU get old.
TEMU overload.
Yeah, she called it wasted. TEMU wasted. So anyway, all right. So we will get together, you guys, on our cooking ideas and mini series. I know, hippie mama, no funny. But yeah, maybe she really should call it that. That would be quite funny.
It's funny.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna keep the faith, Lenny. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to come back and see your gifts, Chatty. They were really great. Kimmy picked some great ones.
Yes, you're gonna have to watch it.
Here's some good news.
I'm so excited for her. I love them.
Kimmy,
I'm glad she liked them.
Yeah, and this going long tonight will give you some watch hours for your channel, because you need that to get monetized. So that's good news. All right. Yes, I will go do that now, Chatty Hag. Okay, I'm gonna do it for Debbie and for for Fiona's mom. So I'm going to go do that now before I forget. Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Jenny.
Bye. Thanks, Kim.
Thanks,
All right,
Jamie.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Mona, Wendy.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.